Hello and welcome to the Friday Night Social here on Politics Social. I'm joined by Mike Dix and Rachel Harris at the moment. We might get some more wonderful people later. I am Graham Hughes. Great to see you all in the chat. We've got Power to the People with Graham Price. We've got Billy Kershaw, Chrissy. We've got Jenny D77. We have got Scott in there. We've got Billy Kershaw. I think I said that one. Jim Higham. We have got Alistair Kerm. We have got Saz. We have got Jane Lockwood and others. If you would. Oh, and Sarah Davis is in there as well. And Alex. If you would like to join our friends in the chat, just hit the subscribe button. But don't be a troll because we will mute you and boot you. So, anything happened? Anything happened this week? Anything you want to talk about, guys?
Haven't we?
Anyone?
Don't we have a new policy on trolls that we elect them to be the mayor of Runcorn or something?
Yeah.
Isn't that what we do now?
I think that's what happens. The shit floats. You know.
Yeah.
Jarvis Cocker tried to tell us this a few years ago when he wrote "C units are still running the world."
Yeah.
It's pretty sad. We've had a little bit. We've had some tears in this house, you know, liberal tears, because the first thing Farage wants to do, we did. We're going to sell them to some Trump fanatic. First thing they're going to do here is DEI initiatives.
Yeah,
out the window.
DEI and net zero. Oh, this is why it is. You know, it's kind of what I saw. Somebody sent me. Is it Genesis is Skynet? Farage is Trump. That was what I saw trending on Blue Sky earlier.
Oh wow!
If you're going to start doing the DEI and net zero stuff, you are Trump. Maybe that'll work against him.
It does feel like,
yeah, it
that
does feel like Star Wars
in the lift.
It's Star Wars 8, right? You know, we won. Label won. We won. We're all like, hey, we're all back. And then the Empire's rising again.
Somehow the Emperor came back.
He did.
There's another Death Star, and it's in Lincoln.
It's not another Death Star.
Another Death Star. I just finished watching episode 5 of Andor, and God, it's good. It's so good.
Excellent.
But it's not escapism. It feels like this is just a hardcore documentary about what it's like to live on this planet at the moment.
It's not bread and circuses.
When it gets a bit real, doesn't it?
It does.
The Doge speech by Farage proves a number of things, doesn't it, today? Number one, that they are going to try and centrally run all those councils from Reform Limited's head office. You know, where was Farage last night in any of it? Where was Farage in a lot of the coverage? But he is going to try and run reform councils around the country directly. Yes. And that they know nothing about running bloody councils.
Yeah. Do you think they'll use the Enigma machines again like they did before?
Yeah. Rachel, can we eat our pudding first? Because there is some good news today, you know. Job James in the chat's pointed out good news from Germany. We are one step closer to getting rid of the AfD. It was labelled a extreme right organisation. Doesn't mean it's going to get banned, but it means that it can legally be bugged, surveilled, bothered, treated like a criminal organisation.
So what do you think I do for a living?
So that's
things like that worry me a bit, though, Graham.
Because you're worried about pestering Nazis, are you, Mike?
Look, I was up all night last night and in pain afterwards.
Oh, sorry, I feel bad.
I was prolapsing myself on this seat by the feel of it. But what worries me is just if you start. And I get we have to do it, but if you start going down the legal routes, look what happened with Trump. You know, he just treats it like Hitler did and says, "I'm a martyr because they're putting the legal system against me."
However, Germany do things differently, and since World War II, they learnt their lesson and they made their constitution incredibly robust. And this has been done twice before against the rise of Nazi parties in Germany, and they take it very seriously. And there is a proper kick-ass separation of powers there. The Parliament and the executive, they have no power at all over the Constitutional Court, which is separate from the court that decides other stuff. And basically, they're there to protect the German democracy against this kind of shit. And it's happened before, and they stamp them down.
And it will happen again. So say we all.
Yeah. Whereas
on a parallel,
America, it's a really shonky system.
Constitution. Yeah.
It's only 200 years old.
Le Pen's court ruling that prevents her from running in France. Has there been any? I've not seen if there's been any fallout from that. Is there any campaigning, or is it just an accepted fact she's not running and we're all moving on?
I don't know. I believe that there's a young man who's taken over from her, who's like in his 20s or something. He's just a kid.
Yeah.
But I mean, she has the Nazi heritage that they all like, and
the Vichy stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Whereas he doesn't really have that, and I feel this way about Farage as well. I think that and Orban in
really.
And Maloney, I think they're one-offs. Like if you get rid of them, I can't really see someone replace them. Trump is the big one for that.
Yeah. Richard Tice is no charismatic leader of the reflux, is he?
No,
he's not. And if once Trump's goes, if it's JD Vance, I mean, I just think a lot of the virus. Well, I'm still convinced a lot of the virus will melt away.
Yeah.
But Trump has to sort of go out to dinner.
Yes, we have to take him out.
Take him
for
out
a
for
pizza.
Yeah. He didn't look well. So,
Chris has given us an update here. Sorry, Ernie first of all says, was that a Lex reference, Rachel? Were you making a Lex reference? Cheeky little Lex reference. Chris C, Reform have gained 648 seats. Labour's lost nearly 200. Lib Dems have gained 146, and the Tories have lost 635
trans people. What did it?
35 seats.
We did it. We like everyone went. It's like I'm going to bring up my first point. I mean, Phil this afternoon was like, "Oh, nobody votes on trans people, but on trans rights."
I love your Yorkshire accent.
But I know. Thank you very much. But
it's like he's in the room.
Yeah, I got my spreadsheet here. Look. But they do. So as I said, the ONS is like, there aren't many trans because when there were loads of trans people at one point when they were fighting us, and there are too many trans people. It's the contamination. And now they've won. It's like, no, the ONS got it wrong, and the ONS have downgraded it. So there's not many trans people because there's not enough trans people for anybody to bother about our rights. And they're trying to convince Labour there aren't many of us, but there are. 1% of the UK population is trans. They've got mums, dads, brothers, and sisters.
This is the point I tried to make with Phil this afternoon. I said that. I said the trans allies and the larger LGBT community.
I have my phone has been ringing off the phone this week. Allies, law firms. I work with 60 law firms. Loads of people have contacted me. Loads of people are angry about this. So you're talking more than 1%. You're talking about 5 or 6% of people. And what are they going to do? They're not going to fucking vote Labour. Where are they going to go? Lib Dems and Greens. 6 votes you needed in Runcorn. Well, they could have been trans votes.
Yeah. But I think the other thing that Phil didn't actually bring up was that I'm not entirely sure people. I think he might have a kernel of truth in that I don't think it's an issue people go out to vote because of.
People who don't know about trans people don't, but people that do will.
Yeah, but I think the effect is even bigger, Rachel, which is that I think people see what's happening. They are allies, and they go, "I'm not going to bother to vote at all for the Labour Party.
There is some of that.
I just won't go and vote." And I think there's a lot. If you look at the numbers, there's a lot of Labour votes.
People didn't turn out in Runcorn.
No, that's true as well. But most of all my trans friends and non-binary friends, they were either they didn't vote, but most of them voted Green or Liberal. The Liberals did okay. They bounced up a little bit. I've had because I get a lot of stick. I'm not even on Bloody Line. I'm not on any social media, but I still get a lot of stick from friends through emails and stuff and through the company websites. And the email go, "Oh, you got to vote. Well, you got to vote Labour because." No, well, reform will be worse. Yeah, they would be worse for us, but Labour are worse for us. So I'm not going to vote for my oppressor, and I don't care. I know about strategic voting. I was fighting for it in the last bloody election. I know about all that. But when you take away the care of the kids and they're self-harming and dying by suicide, and you're taking away adult care and the violence goes up against us, and you put us in male prisons and you don't let us fucking pee, no, I'm not fucking voting for you ever. I don't care. And most trans people feel like that, and I don't care anybody says. So when somebody goes, reform will be worse, yes, they will, but Labour are bad too. So we're either going to vote somewhere else or not vote at all. And I don't care if anybody wants to be critical of that. Labour can fuck right off.
But I think you're right, Rachel, because you've got to make that very clear to Labour. And as I'm trying to explain to people, it's not. No, the end game isn't about being horrible to trans people. That's just an end to a means. The
Yeah.
end game is getting us out of the European Court of Human Rights.
it is that.
This is as clear as day to me. This is the roadmap because this is going to go to the ECHR in Strasbourg. And they're going to look at it and go, oh, well, that's really discriminatory against trans people. So we're going to say no.
Yep.
Then it's going to be peddled in this country as, a foreign court overrules our Supreme Court.
Telling us what a
telling
woman
us what
is.
to do. Telling us what biology is. Yeah. All this shit. And what you're going to have is Farage. Hey, Tan. What you're going to have is Farage riding that all the way to number 10.
Yeah.
It's going to be the new Brexit. Let's get out. We're going to have 10 years of these fucking billionaire cocksucking motherfuckers going on. Sorry, just demonetized the show. I don't care. Going on about how much we have to leave the European Court of Human Rights because how can we live as part of this institution that's telling us what to do? And this is what they're doing. Labour, if they had any brains or any fucking balls, they will get ahead of this and say, we are simply amending the act that exists, the Equalities Act. It fucking exists. Doesn't have to go through Parliament again. They can use a statutory instrument and they can say, we are going to and make the definition in this of a woman. It's going to be a biological woman, as they call it, and it's going to have a definition for that, and a trans women with a gender recognition certificate to try and at least meet halfway, and it should be easier.
Which, by the way, is what the law is now.
Yes.
And the person who wrote the Equality Act said that's what it was intended to be.
Absolutely.
Supreme Court.
And they're going, a man could just put a wig on and then play football. I'm like, no, they fucking can't.
But, might. Everything
they might. Fucking the sun
Somebody
might
dress up in a gorilla suit and go into a toilet and turn all the systems upside down. They might do that, but they're not going to.
Tan turned up, she's like a rabbit in headlights. She's like, Graham's going off on one.
It's not the magic toilet sign. I'm going to go in and attack.
My word. Sorry, guys.
It's a
Graham, Graham, you're going to have to go off on a mega rant a bit more often.
I am.
Jovian needs
I am.
to be,
First of all, One Angry Pagan, thank you very much for the super chat. Bad result, but don't give him badges. Freaks love for everyone. Thank you very much for that. And OMG, we have. I'm gonna have to grab this from another thing. Jovian, I'm gonna be with you in one hot moment. I will be back with you as soon as I just copy and paste something across. Because we have just been given a hyper chat. Oh yes!
Oh.
Woo! Let's hear it for Jovian. Thank you so much. £100. £100. £100 hyper chat. Thank you so much,
when Tan
Jovian.
joined.
That is, Tan, well done. Thank you. Wow. Remonetized. Jovian says remonetized. That's all you need to say.
What was that for? What did you do? Did you get that banana out again?
I just swore. I just called them motherfucking cocksuckers or something. I went a bit Deadwood. I went a bit elsewhere-ingen.
I was really enjoying it, man. I was like, just keep going. We need this.
But it's like though, Graham. Like it's like the Labour are like 70s hippies that bring up kids, right? They're like, we're not going to fix the Tories at the top of the BBC or sort out the fact that they're biased. We're not going to sort out Ofcom, who won't deal with GB News. We're not going to sort out the Charity Commission, who keep giving charity status to hate groups. We're not going to sort out the HRC, who are pressing trans people and black people. We're not going to reform the media because that would be a bad thing. And then they won't roll back the rights, the Tory case on protest. Oh, no, we need to fight that. And it's like, we're trying nothing and nothing's working. I mean, it's like, that's like bringing up 70s kids, right? Why are they not doing anything? It's just driving me mad.
Rachel, I think they're scared. I think genuinely the rabbits in headlights analogy is reasonable. I think they're terrified of these issues, and because they don't have the political skills to deal with it. Most of them.
No, they don't have the political skills. And I was just thinking, when you were talking about the 70s, I was thinking we need to make one of those like 70s in public information videos.
Clunk click.
Every trip. Kids getting like electrocuted and shit. Like something like that. So
Rolf Harris in the water. Kids love the water. No, not cut. No, cut. All those films are a bit dodgy now. We're running out of people.
my
Yeah.
God.
I
Yeah.
love this. I want this. I want to use this. Can I steal this quote, Rachel? We tried nothing and nothing's working. I love that. It's just genius. I love it. We tried nothing and nothing's working. That is just sums up the Labour Party in a few words. That is fantastic.
Christ, mate, I'm weary about it.
Mike and I shared an evening together last night.
Oh,
and the last time we did it, the last time we stayed up, the Orange Menace got in the United States.
I thought you were going to say Mike got pregnant.
And Mike got pregnant.
I got bum cancer, basically.
That's how bad it got.
Yeah.
And so we thought we'll do that again, and the same thing fucking happened. The baddies won. It's really shit.
Well, yeah, you two shouldn't get together.
No, it's definitely was doomed last night, and it's always at the point that we go, well, it could go either way in Runcorn. Maybe we'll just go to bed. So just go and get some sleep, basically, and then you wake up.
Man, jinxers, the pair of you. That's what you're doing. You're making it happen. But I think in both cases, it was kind of predictable. Like I called it. Like I got the feeling that night. I was like, yeah, Trump's going to do it again. And it was so obvious that this was going to happen with reform. I mean, the only small grace we can get out of any of it is the fact that the Tories are totally fucked, like totally. But
Tam, what about the ground game? What about Kamala's ground game? She had a ground game. I kept getting told she had a ground game, and she couldn't possibly lose because of her ground game. And
I think I was still optimistic up to halfway through that show. Basically. Yeah, less so last night.
But she didn't. But she didn't have like 9 million Russian and bot farms, and she didn't have,
every billionaire in the world backing her.
Yeah. And this is what Reform have now too. They have presented like pushing on Twitter. Like there was the article about the, how it's not grassroots support. It's like Nigerian bot farms and all kinds of bot farms pushing Reform and GB News. Yeah. And even say he's talked about like implementing doges in council. It's like, until employment law kicks in, you fucking bellend. Like, of course, it's not going to work here. Like we have.
They're going to be in charge of local schools, the LEA. Like they're going to be doing this DEI shite, these anti-DEI shite. They're going to be doing their transphobic fucking policies in the schools here in Durham. It's going to mean that like the kids who've got, the girls who've got short hair are going to have to grow their fucking hair out. Yeah. No, they're going to be.
They can't though. Surely we still have like discrimination.
National policies,
national policy. They can't just start running them like little fucking crazy little.
Depends though, because Tony Blair introduced academies, and academies have a lot more autonomy in that situation. But
they're not relying on like Reform to pay them though directly. It's coming from central government. Well, I suppose some are independent, aren't they? But they're not going to start ripping up like our equality. Well, God, I'm saying they're not going to start up.
I'll try. It's funny though, isn't it? It's what you were saying this afternoon. It's like Reform have had a ground game. They're bot farms and the media, and they're 24/7, and they do it all year like Trump does. Trump's on electioneering all the time. Labour about 3 months before an election, let's get the spinning Jenny out, and now they start up the steam engine, and the Isambard Kingdom Brunel comes down, and they pump up.
Do you think we should do a leaflet? What do you think, Rachel? Possibly a leaflet.
We'll explain everything to the plebs. And it should be 1,000 pages of a leaflet. And they can sit down and study it. With their quill, they will study it. Make notes with a quill.
They are. They're like First World War generals at the beginning.
They're going to send it in a fax, Rachel. They'll send you a fax.
Yeah. They are that. They are. They're First World War generals at the end of the beginning of the Second World War.
And they'll open their mouth and make that noise that you used to make when you were dialing up at the internet. And you're like, oh, they're just dialed up. Before we go on, One Angry Pagan dropped the £2 super chat in, so thank you so much. I do wonder if this is RefUKed's peak. We will see. Well, we hope so. Jovian has also joined the channel. So welcome, Jovian, to the channel. Welcome to Superstar. And Alistair as well has dropped in £5. Tan, are you doing live on Sunday? We'll the last one. Glad it was good news you got.
Great.
Oh, thank you. It depends if
a lot of love in the chat, by the way.
To like give us a hand or teach me the way to do it before.
Teach you the ways of the stream.
Yeah.
We might. Hi, Mikey. We might have to do it a bit later. That's the only thing.
Well, Graham, do you know the beauty of that though?
What?
Is the fact that if we did it like say 7ish, Aid could join.
Oh, for fuck's sake! So we can finally do fuck your bins.
Finally do fuck your
We can
bins?
finally do. We've been wanting to do fuck your bins for months.
He can do
I'll make a
7
little
o'clock on
animation.
Sunday on this one. I think this Sunday.
Do I have to still call it Sunday service, or can call it fuck your bins?
I'll call it fuck your bins. Yeah.
I mean,
why fuck us? What did we do?
Why worry about monetization?
Not the
from
bin
beginning,
fuck, I guess.
basically.
You said fuck your bins, plural, Mikey, not fuck your bin.
Not just one of our shows, all of our shows.
Everything in the network, Mikey.
Every piece of that network. Fuck it.
Tan, I love it when a plan comes together. Me, you, and Aid. Comedy heaven.
Tan, are you able to talk about your good news today?
I'd rather not. Like, I don't think
Okay.
it's it was just a thing.
No, it's just nice to have some good news.
Yeah.
Good news.
Oh, it's been a day of like no good news, hasn't it? Let's face it. I mean, I've not really caught up with the local elections yet.
Oh God, don't. Please don't.
Not a good idea. Yeah.
No.
It's a bit of a
Scott might be joining us in a minute. He just texted me to say, sorry, I just woke up, I fell asleep.
You did?
Scott. I'll make Scott. Yeah.
I wondered where he was. I mean, do you know much about the local elections, Mikey?
He was watching us.
I was watching with him.
You were watching?
Yeah. I keep up with some of y'all stuff.
Mikey is the best of America. We commented on this last night.
Mikey
right?
is
You should import one family. I think you guys should find space for one family to just bring over.
Sadly, there are a large number of councils in England now that you would not be welcome to move in as a ratepayer, basically.
I mean, this is the problem. I mean, it's
still American at the end of the day. As soon as I open my mouth, I'm like, oh,
not you.
You're from Missouri? Oh, that's a red state, right? Sure is. Tell us about the magical land. They can sit at my feet, and I'll be in the park telling them stories about
Donnie,
the Second Amendment, and they're like, oh, and they'll gasp.
Thank you very much to Chris C for the £5 super chat. Get ready for RefUKed to ban LBGT plus material in schools. They are in charge.
Labour are already doing that anyway.
And they'll also try and ban any non-Christian religion being taught. I could see them doing that as well. Alistair, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. If you want a mod for the chat on Sunday, Tan, Alistair says count me in.
He's not gonna. What you mean? He's not gonna start going rogue, is he? And start doing mad things in the chat.
Possibly.
He's wear a parka and drive around on a Vespa. Is that what he's talking about?
Oh, the good times.
What?
That's what mods do, isn't it?
Yeah, down Brighton.
I think
down Brighton.
We are the mod. We are the mods. What you mean?
It's mod week. It's mod weekend this weekend in Brighton. So there will be a large number of 50+ years old mods turning up with their girlfriends on Vespas.
Yeah.
And there's a little alley. All of you seen Quadrophenia?
Yeah. Of course.
So there's a little alley that Jimmy took Steph into to digitally entertain.
Stripper.
And they all queue up. That alley has been called Quadrophenia Alley. It's been renamed by the council. And there is a queue of 50-something-year-old mods and their wives and girlfriends waiting to go into that alley.
So they can have sex in the alley.
So people
take selfies, basically.
That's just you guys.
Like touched up in the alley.
Who was his girlfriend? Sorry, was it Kathy Dennis?
It was Leslie Ash.
Leslie Ash.
He did Annie Lennox. I was like,
no, Annie Lennox.
A beautiful man.
My dad used to have a T-shirt that said Hastings, Agincourt, Waterloo, Margate.
Wow.
Can you guys remind me about how uncivilized Americans are one more time? You said there's a line for people to shag in an alley.
Yes.
You guys are
Mikey.
nasty.
You're
disgusting. They're not shagging. It's just fingering. Good God, man.
What's going to happen when Mikey finds out why the band Limp Bizkit is called Limp Bizkit? Who's going to tell him?
They're from America.
Yes, I know.
Look, y'all are a little maybe too liberal with your little gross deeds. We will lock your little nasty
Limp Bizkit are an American
up.
band, Mikey. Come on, they're an American band.
That was the point.
That was the
called Limp
point.
Bizkit.
The
We were
Gilead
rebels
has
back then.
Although the practice dates back to, well, I don't think we invented it, but you know, it's quite popular in
Having an alley.
in private schools. They play Soggy Biscuit, don't they?
They do. And that other game, Tob Tugging
so.
Hat, which is where everyone wanks into a hat, and the person who comes last has to
And that other
I may have
game,
just made that up, but I believe it exists.
Also-
That was a game for you, Graham.
Ollie from Canada would be a good person to have on the show tonight, because obviously they did have quite seismic elections in Canada. Is asking
Yay.
Mikey to
let me
send
get him.
the link. So send the link.
To who?
Send the link. And Brenner, if you're watching still, I've sent you the link. So if you want to come on.
And that Argentina chap, he's looking very lamppost hangy, isn't he? At the moment?
Lamppost Annie. Is that a Spanish constructed
It's a
word?
little bit of lamppost hangy, that guy. Yeah.
That is one of the best descriptions I've ever heard in my life.
Coming. Yeah.
Argentina fella's looking a bit lamppost hangy, isn't he?
It's like George Formby. It's like Alexis Sale joke, isn't it? You know, I'm going to play George Formby on my I'm going to do Mussolini on my ukulele. I'm hanging from the lamppost at the corner of my street. Best Alexis Sale joke ever.
You're gonna have to be
For legal reasons, I need to stress we are not encouraging this
No,
to happen.
we're not.
in
I'm just
any
saying
way,
it-
shape,
it-
or
it
Just
could
saying it could
happen.
happen. It could happen.
It's
could
a possibility.
happen.
It really, really, really could happen.
What are you
As
talking
Blair
about?
once sang. The leader of Argentina,
Yeah.
Oh,
Javier
Javier
Milei, is that
Milei.
it?
Yeah.
oh, what chainsaw wanker? What's happened there?
He's not liked very much because he did a bit of a dodgy deal with the old crypto, but unlike the Trump lot, he couldn't get away with it, and people don't like him very much.
Who knew that a guy that looked exactly like Fred West would go wrong? I mean,
But it's
it
just
looked
that,
exactly like him.
I mean, over half their
does.
population is now in total poverty, and it's just got worse. And he's trying to switch to the dollar as their currency as it's crashing.
Well, what a surprise.
Well, he'll get
Although-
it for a deal.
Yeah.
Ironically, their GDP is increasing dramatically at the moment compared to America.
Mm.
Only because it crashed so far when he took power.
The only way is up. Up.
Yeah.
The only way is
We just got another super chat in from Yuri Infection off saying, "Down with reform, up with tantric nan."
Nice.
Tantric Nan.
Tantric nan.
Country man.
Nan, or TN
Hey.
as they were known. The band that I said to someone they sounded like, you know, Rumours era Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
And what was it, Gong? They were like, count me in. I can't with that. To be honest with you, I would listen to that. I would. Well, I should have listened to. Well, the origins. Well, where they went is still mysterious to this day. I mean, no one really truly knows what happened after the crash.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. We have got Canadian Ollerman in. Hey Ollie, how you doing?
Good evening.
Are you fixing
How
up
we
your
doing?
kit? You getting your kit all sorted?
Fixing up my kit.
Ollie, is there a physical
Your
symbol?
gear.
When we do elbows up, are we supposed to actually do elbows up, or is the
It's in reference to Gordie Howe, famous hockey player from like the 50s.
okay?
He was known to have big elbows on the ice.
Okay.
AKA he assaulted people during a friendly game of hockey. He would just knock you out
All right.
Physical
cold.
assault.
So
Yeah.
but it's basically a way of saying, okay, we're taking
We're
things
in it to
30
personally.
win.
seconds in the sin bin.
You know,
I went to my first hockey match in December, and it was
Did you?
great because basically it was the Toronto Maple Leafs versus some American team, and what the Maple Leafs did is they just taunted the Americans so much that the Americans started to fight with them, and then two of the American team got put in the sin bin, and while the team was down to like, I don't know, 3 people or something, the Canadians scored like 3 goals in a row. It's like playing cards or something. It's like you don't have you just wind them up and you just sledging, as they say in cricket. You just keep sledging, and then eventually they'll crack and they'll say, "What did you say about my mother?" And it's like, here we go. Let the goals commence.
like even to this day, most of the American teams are
Suck.
at least 45 to 50% Canadian players.
Oh really?
Yeah. If you look at all of the
name only.
the Americans like to try and throw it in our face that they've won the last 26, 27 Stanley Cups in a row.
Yeah.
It's just been won by an American team.
Yeah.
And then we point back out to them that each and every one of those teams was over 50% Canadian. 75% of those teams had Canadian captains, and 80% of those teams had Canadian coaches. So say it again.
Sounds like we know how to draft and you don't.
It seems like you guys have money and we're just going where the money is. Yeah.
Kay in the chat over on the bin side says Gordie Howe hat trick. 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 fight.
Hilgara, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Just down the road from me. My Lib Dem got in Langley and Esh, but Jesus Christ, dude, we are doomed. So I'm in Brandon, just up the road from you, and we got 2 greens here, but the rest of them are refuck as far as the eye can see.
You've got Darren Grimes, crafty wank.
Darren Grimes.
Darren Grimes.
Crafty Wank is now a counsellor deciding when we get our bins collected.
Christ alive, but his live streams, man, it was like watching. I don't know. I was like, it was so embarrassing. The second-hand embarrassment for the guy. He's another level.
It's not going to last.
And Kent is.
It's what we were saying in the chat earlier, that the big problem is they think they've got themselves into some power. And what they're going to find out is that it's a hard job to do to be a good counsellor.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to get anything done. And none of them have any of the skills.
I'm going to fuck them up.
And
I'm going to make it my life's mission. How long do they stay in? 4 years. I'm going to
4
make
years.
These 4 years fucking hell for these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Grims is going to be holding the bin as it's trying to be lifted by the machine.
They're not going to get a moment's peace. I am going to have
you know,
and then when you know what happened is hounding one of them, I'll move on to the next one. There's 56.
Yeah, you got to do it very carefully because what's her face? Is it Jenkin, the mayor of Lincolnshire?
Oh, the woman who did that to the general public.
Right. So within a day, she does an interview on the BBC. So in her acceptance speech when she was elected, she commented that she'd been accused of being parachuted into Lincolnshire, which was ironic considering the woman accusing her had a South African accent.
Yeah, fuck's sake.
Right? And then the BBC journalist says to her, "What did you mean by that?" And she said, "Well, I'd been parachuted in, and so she'd been parachuted in. I've lived in Lincolnshire much longer." And the BBC said, "So why mention the accent?" And she says, "Oh, I'm ending this interview. Forget it," and storms out. And now they're threatening to sue the BBC.
They get away with it every time. They're allowed to just do this. Just go, you're trying to talk down. They don't face the scrutiny of wheeling their way out of these situations. They're just allowed to do it. It's mad.
Scott's here. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
How you doing, mate?
Hi, Scott.
Hi, how's it going?
The Kraken wakes.
Oh, Scott got
Thanks for getting dressed for us as well, Scott. We appreciate it.
Scott got that sleepy voice on. Say something else, Scott.
Hey, mumbling and grumbling around midnight. You hello to you truckers out there.
Scott got that. Hey, you still up? Voice on.
We've got a super chat come in from Di. Thank you very much for the £10 super chat.
Yeah, let's hear him.
Gong were and are possibly the greatest band of all time, famed for their heroic chemical consumption.
They're great on acid, but I don't know if they were like the greatest band of all time. Only someone on acid would say that. Are you on acid?
Yeah, Die.
What are you?
Die, obviously.
What are you, a cop?
I can. Oh my God! Narc. There's a narc in there.
Yeah. So where do you keep all of the drugs that you do?
I'm like Homer walking around the festival.
We grow them.
Yeah,
all around us.
We grow them. I know someone who once had his weed plant stolen. He couldn't go to the police. He was like, "I'm fucked."
Oh my God.
Brenna, hey Brenna, Brenna's arrived.
Hey,
hello. How you doing in sunny California?
I'm exhausted.
Right? I'm exhausted. I was up all night with Mike. We were
doing it. This is like Labour Global.
And then there was a fucking
Global.
It is. But then there was a recount, and then there was another recount, and Mike and I were just like, "Oh fuck this, we're going to bed."
It was a bit like Brexit morning, but like smidgen of Brexit morning.
Yeah.
Any morning in which Nigel Farage is happy and is bad.
Hi, Brenna.
It is a shame because those 4 votes or 6 votes in the end that swung it, completely changed the narrative of the day. Yeah, it's what Graham and I were saying at the time, is that if it goes to Labour even by 4 votes, the story will be completely different tomorrow.
The turnout was low, wasn't it? Really low. And
it was low. Yeah.
This was like a quarter of the country, and it's just a tiny little fash snapshot, but the snapshot's not good. Like it's very bad, and it's kind of like it's just going to give them loads more momentum.
The story has become, during the day, as far as I can tell in most of the bulletins, that Labour took a thrashing, and then they talk about the numbers, and you go, well, they obviously didn't, did they? The Tories definitely took a thrashing, but there's no accountability. The Tories are not being. Kemi's not on the radio. Kemi's not being asked anything.
You saw what's happening, don't you? They're oiling the hinges of Gendrick's coffin and they're bringing him out.
Oh yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
Wow, what kind of oil? What kind of oil is that?
We've just got
not good oil.
we just got a super chat in from Yuri. Infection of. Thank you very much. If anyone needs to escape to Scotland, I have room.
Hey, careful what you wish for.
Room and independence. I'm one of those terrible people that you meet on holiday and you say, if you're ever in Oregon.
Oh, I will show up.
And I show up. Yeah, I'm the same. I just show up. You did say. Paul N.
Find your address.
Thanks. I'm saying thanks to Paul N. Paul was fantastic last night with giving the results, like before the BBC had them, before ITV had them, any of the news sources had them. I don't know how Paul got them so fast.
From the future.
Final local election results have been posted. RefUKed on 677 seats.
Damn.
That
councils
and 10 councils. They now got the majority in, including mine here in Durham. The Lib Dems are on 370. I mean, they're up 163, so they've had quite a good night actually.
Trans people.
Yeah, they've got control of 3 councils. The Conservatives have lost 676 seats.
Still makes me smile though.
Whoa, damn.
Labour have lost 186.
To me, these numbers clearly show you where the Labour vote went. The Labour vote did not go to reform.
No.
And the Greens, Mike, the Greens are up 45.
So what was Labour?
Sorry?
Labour's down 186 and the Lib Dems are up 163 and the Greens have got 80.
So they all just shifted that way.
Yeah.
Tactical voting could be, have been a bit.
People are letting everyone know, as Rachel said, gobshites. Stop it, Labour. Stop it.
Not 1%, 7%.
But what that does represent, I think, is the switch from the main right-wing party in the UK being reformed, not the Conservatives.
Yeah.
And I think this is the main, pin in the map that says this is the point that happened. The Tory party became the Reform Party.
So I have a question for both countries here. So I find that me and most of my friends are pretty progressive minded, but we also watch Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, all that kind of stuff. The generation before us did not have that. The generation after us also did not have that. Do we find ourselves in a valley of empathy where the people before and the kids after are completely apathetic about what happens to this place? Do you feel that?
Yeah, a bit.
A little bit.
I think my son's generation has Teletubbies. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Vision on Pipkins. I mean, all the television I watched was made by people that took LSD. So,
hell yeah.
And so I'm pretty chilled. I'm a generation more than most of you, me and Mike. So it's like, I'm still chilled.
Me and Rachel are still trying to work out the magic roundabout.
I guess LSD is involved in that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Dylan the rabbit.
It's amazing that. I mean, Mike, there is a problem, isn't there? Because as you were saying the other week, like they've only ever known phones. People that are like in their 20s now have only ever known just screens.
Yep.
And it has affected people, and COVID massively did.
Yeah.
Key integral part of like
it was gasoline on the fire.
Yeah, red pilled everybody. All the guys.
Just pushed them even further into the depths of it.
But I remember being young and being a little apathetic about the whole thing. I mean, I voted from the moment I could, and I found that amongst my peers, I was unusual to go out and vote at such a young age.
Mm-hmm.
But
So,
I mean, but you're gay, Scott. Maybe it's like I always voted for rights, knowing I was trans when I was young. I think LGBT people,
so.
you're more aware of the people that might take your rights away and come for you, so you vote to make sure that doesn't happen.
Women subconsciously too, because my nan was like, "Women died for your right to vote. You're going to vote. You must vote."
Yeah.
But amongst my peers,
and she pulls out a broadsword.
Yeah, there you go. That's the feminist way.
I thought you were saying she pulled out her bra and just twatted with it.
She pulled out a chancla.
Scott, I think you make a really good point in that, this room is not representative of people's normal attitude to politics. I think all of us probably got engaged in politics at quite a young age in some way, shape, or form. And
Are you saying we're all weirdos? Are you saying we're
weirdos?
weirdos?
Yeah, we're weirdos compared to normal voters.
That's fine with me. I'm weird.
We're on YouTube on a Friday night talking about politics. We are clear.
Yeah, exactly. And we call it a social life.
Mikey's putting his hand up and saying, "Excuse me, I DJ." Mikey's going to say this nice. Excuse me. Hello, everyone. I DJ.
The fact you have to tell us that, Mikey, doesn't make you cool. I'm afraid.
I think Graham told you that I said that.
Yeah, but we can.
And also, 9/11 happened, so I didn't really have a choice but to get involved in politics. Because
it was everywhere.
I was right at the age where, are they going to pull up the draft? Let's see. We don't know yet. So I went to. They put me in ROTC so that if I did get drafted, I would have a higher rank.
How old were you?
ROTC? What's that, Mikey?
I was 24.
Reserve Officer Training Corps. It's kind of like it's like a paramilitary school thing. So you'd have like cadets, and then you'd have like a senior military instructor, like a retired major or colonel or something like that, and then you learn about that branch, and then you learn like something about like I did Marine Corps the first time, so I learned about rifles and stuff like that and the ranks. And then the classes get progressively more. So then I changed schools. So then I was in Air Force for the last 3 years. So I learned like weather, map reading, engines, space stuff. Like it's kind of.
That sounds really cool. All I learned
it was actually
Oxbow Lakes.
It was I loved all of that stuff, so but then like you would like wear a uniform once a week and you had to like drill and get inspected.
Drill, baby, drill.
Yeah. No, but this was more like in a square or a rectangle, like the marching and stuff like that. So but that's why they put me in it, because we didn't know what the hell was going to happen. So politics just became every day.
Wow. Big shout out to Cozy. Hey Cozy, how you doing?
Hi, Cozy.
Hi, Cozy. We've got a full house now. No one else. Sorry, Wayne.
That's it. We're full.
Sorry, Darren.
How was I when 9/11 happened? I was 12.
11. No, I mean you had to
get out of here.
When you were talking about before, you were being you were doing the training and stuff. How old were you when you were doing that?
I was on my way to
high school.
When it happened. Yep.
High school? Are you like what part of high school? The latter or the early?
All 4 years.
What the fuck? And they told you about guns before maps?
I was in the map part. The map part of it is because I was in the Air Force part. I was a freshman. So like you get to like take apart an M1 Garand. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, and this is how you clean a pistol. Like it's not that stuff. It's more like, this is the military. This is what the military has done. Here are some it's like battle history. And then like you get to like take apart an M1 Garand and then you have to put it back together. Like that was like the highlight of freshman year.
That is how old
those things were not accurate on the range.
No, we never got to fire any guns. They did have an airsoft. No, we used to have an airsoft team, but they canceled it literally the year before I got there. So didn't even get to do the air.
Dude, when I was in Sea Cadets, they put a gun in my hand at 14 years old and took me to the range.
Yeah, the Canadians are the wild ones.
You're right.
They're up there being free.
That's for the beavers, really.
The meese.
This week we've had 100 days of Trump. We've had the Canadian election. We've had the UK local elections. Some of them. Does anyone have a news story that they want to talk about? Rachel, go.
I mean, weirdly, coming from, I think it's Labour, tabling, making abortion formally legal. Did you see that?
Formally legal?
Formally, because it's illegal. It's just that you're allowed to have one because of the way the law set up.
What? Hang on.
I know.
What?
I know.
I knew
it
about
is illegal
this.
technically on the statute books, but because of what David Steele did and everybody, you can have an abortion, blah, blah, blah. But I think it was 2 Labour MPs, backbenchers, have tabled a new statute to be voted on and discussed and blah, blah, blah. To actually make it legal, because now reform's in. You can bet your dollar gay marriage and same-sex marriage and abortion. But abortion is going to be, it's going to be next 5 years of abortion if they carry on the way that they're going. And so
do you think
trans people said it would. And
because I wonder in the UK whether it will stick, the abortion.
They've tried
over and over again.
We are the same as America. 1/3 doesn't vote. 1/3 are just,
evil.
Yeah, but
and 1/3 is
in America,
1/3 are lovely. We're the lovely third. Welcome,
the lovely third.
The Golden Fish
in the States, the abortion issue came up with the heritage
third.
people, didn't it? It was the
Heritage
big
is in
Christian
London.
evangelical thing.
Yeah, but
Labour's
the
met
big-
with the heritage loads of times.
Yeah, but Rachel, one of the big differences between us and the Americans is that they're a lot more religious than we are. Like here,
Well, don't you think it's funny that a bunch of reform people voted to bring back British values by copying exactly what the Americans are doing?
Yeah, shocker.
Yeah, but they
funny?
see America. They see America
It was
as
so
British.
funny to me.
They
It's
see
like,
America.
I was like, oh, we gotta bring back British values, British people. Just take care of our own.
Now,
And
now
then
wait
Nigel
a
Farage
minute.
goes, okay, we're gonna do all the stuff the Americans just did.
Right.
I need, if I
It's
can
going
have,
so well.
if I can have 10 seconds, I have a plan.
Uh-oh.
I know this is going to upset a couple of people, but just hear
Revolution.
it.
We're gonna have the
No,
revolution.
no.
now.
Just hear me to the end. Just hear me to the end.
I know what you're going to say.
How about all of you kind, empathetic UK people come on over here. We'll send MAGA to that island.
That's not what
You
I said.
You never have to deal with it
MAGA
again. You
island.
get all kinds of weather. You got beaches now. And then guess what? It'll be a great place.
They got beaches.
Perth
It'll be a
Island,
great place.
Niagara Island.
Sorry, is this?
Yeah, just
is
put them
this the-
all up there, and then you
This
guys
is
can come
Trump's
down here.
Gaza
We'll
plan,
have
isn't it,
so-
Mikey?
We'll have so much,
Yeah.
there'll be
Blow
so
it
much
up,
room for us.
level it, build.
We all have to leave England so that you can import a bunch of.
I'm just
idiot
saying, if
Republicans,
they want it, I say let's give them
Mikey,
there.
I have a slight modification.
You guys come
for
over
that
here. We got tons of
plan.
space.
They can do their own capitalist.
the-
society.
L.A.,
There's-
New York, Chicago. They'll be at your fingertips.
There's
It'll
an
be a,
I've always
Mikey,
said
Mikey,
that the
just-
Americans should split in half. Go
Well,
on.
there's an island off the
No,
coast
no,
of
no.
Scotland which was
Copper
known as
bottom.
Anthrax Island.
Yeah, there.
And they spent loads of money trying to clear the place up, but it's still like not the
Yeah,
greatest
yeah.
place.
okay.
And if we
Counteroffer.
tell
We're-
them live there don't really last very long, so can't we just move all the MAGA to there? Like I'm sure
Yeah. If we
77
tell
million
them
of them
that-
standing up could fit on that
Few
island.
lampposts.
It would be like
We tell them that
why don't they
anthrax
just
is-
split America? Split it. Like you have two
Or-
different governments. See what
Count-
happens on the Democrat side. See what happens on the Republican side. See who lasts longer.
Counteroffer. We send them all to Ginger Island.
No.
Okay,
No.
well then they're
Last night.
going to
That's gotta
fucking
be
there,
a-
and you're
a
coming over
MAGA-free
here.
place.
The only
Right.
reason
In the
why I
middle
say
of
no is it's not going underwater fast enough. Just saying.
In the middle of our.
All right, everybody, go
live
get your
cast.
coal. Do your
Right.
part.
There's
Time
resources
to bet some
there.
coal,
If you're
people.
gonna
There's
go
resources
you can
down
exploit.
sandbags.
Yeah.
Have you cut down a tree today? Have you helped Ginger Island go deeper under the ocean?
Yeah.
Bring us
Last
like a
night, Mikey, we did end up deciding that we were all going to move to Ginger Island, but then I staged a coup, and half the chat decided that we were going to take the higher ground. And Graham said there was no higher ground.
Turned into Lord of the Flies.
Well,
he
it
got-
got really tricky. when
Piggy
Graham
has
started
the
being a bit
conch.
dictatorish about naming the capital. Like he insisted
it's
that he was
Giro.
going to name the capital.
I'm sick of this. Every time I come up with an idea, someone else is like, oh, I want the naming rights on this. Eight's the worst for this. You come up with a great idea, like fuck your bins as a name for a podcast, and he's like, no. And you're like, why, Aid? Because I didn't come up with it. Although he did come up with
Isn't that
Aid
offensive
Thompson.
to us?
That's
Other
I'm actually
disappointments.
really offended by that.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's
I'm
offensive to
sorry.
us.
We are the bin network. We are the bin.
Shit, I didn't
What's
realise.
it stand for?
We can't call it fuck your bins.
Are we?
Well, if you do,
Garbage
we're gonna
bin.
have a counter podcast, secret podcast, and we're just gonna bash you guys.
Completely different word.
Fuck your politics social.
Do you know,
There you go.
you know the origin story of fuck your bins? Do you know where that comes from? It's not a slight.
Hatred towards us.
No, it's a
No.
Labour MP.
Not everything is about
It's
you,
hard
Mikey.
work.
He said in a leaked WhatsApp group, right, about a resident. It's so funny, Graham. I can't remember. Graham, you remember the details better
Yeah,
than me.
it was an MP called Andrew Gwynn, who
That's
I've
it.
actually gone for a pint with on this channel.
Years
You
ago.
actually go and watch me and Johnny Reynolds have a pint with him. And he was in a private WhatsApp chat, and he said that
Signalgate.
one of the things he would love to say to a particular constituent of his who was always going on about her bins was "fuck your bins." And like, you're not supposed to say that as a politician, clearly.
Right.
But objectively, it was fucking hilarious.
Funny.
He didn't actually say it to her, but he didn't say it to her. He just said it. That's the sort of thing you'd like to be able to say. But
She knows who she is.
So now we actually say it
Fuck
to each
your
other
bins.
as like a kind of like term of endearment. Like almost, it's like, oh, fuck your bins. No,
She's scrolling through Twitter and she's like, goes out in the garage. Oh, babies, don't look.
No.
Babies, just stay off of social
not
media
about
today,
you.
okay? It's not you.
it was generally
I
like,
can't believe
I mean,
he's-
it was just generally like just a proper fuck you to the resident because they were getting on his tits, and then yeah.
The bin should be 14 centimeters from the curb, but they're over here at 10 centimeters.
No.
that happens
What's it
here.
called?
Right.
Mikey, is it a residents association? What's it called in America?
HOA.
HOA.
HOA, and that stands for what?
Homeowners Associate.
Homeowners
Yeah.
Association. That's what America's been taken over by. It's been taken over by a massive
Yes.
homeowners
Yeah.
organization.
It's
That
such
is-
a scam.
Everybody's a Karen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is their pope.
the triumph of the Karens.
Wow.
She's the first female pope of the Karens.
Yeah.
And Bobert's her understudy cardinal.
Female poop of the
Well,
cat.
I mean, I've seen some TikTok videos about these homeowners associations, and
They're crazy.
objectively,
They can do
again,
whatever they want.
They're insane.
fucking hilarious. It's like the other end of the telescope of My Super Sweet 16. Do you remember that show on MTV where
Yes.
Yeah.
girls and boys would go fucking nuts because their parents would buy them like a Ferrari for their 16th
And then they'd
birthday,
throw a
and it would be
straw.
the wrong color, and they'd have a
Yeah.
fucking meltdown.
Yeah.
They're like, I wanted
Not-
it to be
not-
blue and it's red. I hate you, Daddy. I
It
hate
wouldn't
you.
even be that. It would be like the wrong red.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the wrong-
yes.
I wanted the candy apple red, not
And this
the
is
cinnamon
lipstick red. I hate you,
I
Daddy.
wanted candy apple.
I never want to see you. You ruined it. You've ruined
Yeah.
it. There was one where a girl got shown the car that she was going to get for a 16th birthday, a fucking car, brand new
16.
fucking sports car, and she didn't want to see it before the actual party, and because she saw it before the
This
party,
was
she
the
burst
problem,
into
guys.
tears.
This is how we've gotten to where we are
I-
right now.
I saw a
Program-
video of a kid that was
programs
so
like that.
disappointed.
America.
I saw a video of a kid so disappointed with the brand new car that he got because it was the wrong color that he took it out and wrote it off on a video. This was 3 years ago. I remember seeing this video. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Yeah.
meanwhile, everybody in this dimension is over here like, man, if I sell 13
My kid.
gallons of blood
Right.
and then
There's no cure
work
for being a cunt.
63 hours of overtime, I think we're gonna make rent.
Well, the first car I was given is when I was 17. I got my brother's old hand-me-down. It had a hole in the. I could put my feet through the floor.
Oh,
the
your
Flintstones.
That's a
Flintstone
fi-
car.
That's
Like-
a feature. That's so your feet don't get hot.
Yeah. It was a
Ventilation.
1968 Mark 1 Escort. It had a hole in the floor, and I could put my
Guys,
feet
I'm
through
so
it.
poor that I can't eat. I've never had a car.
Are we
I don't
going
even know how to
dead now?
drive.
Like, you had a car?
I've never had a car.
I've got a couple
My
of
mom
super
didn't buy
chats.
me a car.
I've got a couple of super
This
chats
is-
before we go on about the car thing. I'll come to you in a second, Mike. Michael Warner in the chat has been a member for 3 months. Well done, saying constipated alleyway queues. Hurrah! That sounds like something that you'd put down on a card in Cards Against Humanity. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
Like,
it does.
Yeah.
What
in
was
his
that
new term
about?
of office, Obama is promising to give everyone constipated alleyway queues.
Yeah.
Questionable obscenity. Thanks so much for the £5 super chat. In the UK, cadets, you start firing live rifles at the age of 13.
Yep.
Jesus Christ!
Well, I didn't want to say at the time, but I was an army cadet.
Oh, you look like one. It's the glasses.
Yeah.
So
Were
you? Like, it's like if
I can fire a Lee Enfield 303 rifle.
I remember the Lee Enfield.
What are you talking about? You're such a soy boy. His hetero lives in Brighton. You don't.
We were literally. In fact, the Lee Enfield 303 rifle is a First World War rifle.
I love Scott
trained to fight with them.
Yes, I love Scott calling Mike a soy boy.
I feel
a soy boy who lives in Brighton.
Kate, calm down.
I feel like I have this like bond with all of the armed forces because in freshman year doing the Marine Corps ROTC, I grand thumbed myself and I was like, I'm part of the crew now.
What does grand thumbing yourself mean?
See, you just dropped something that no one even knows what that means.
That's exactly where Margaret Thatcher was born. What did you do? Did you become Margaret Thatcher?
To pull the action back.
Sorry.
It's maybe. I don't know. How never mind. You pull the thing back and then your finger gets stuck and then it pinches your thumb.
Sounds like a Saturday night to me.
I've got an idea, Scott.
It has to do with stuck thumbs and metal.
Scott, I've got an idea for a podcast for you,
Pull
mate.
the charging handle.
Right, just tell me to fuck off if you want, right? Listen. I'll be your producer on this. I want you to be gay Andrew Tate. So it's basically Andrew Tate, but you're gay. That's it. That's
Andrew
it.
Tate.
And you just talk like you're Andrew Tate,
that's
but
like
you're gay.
The place of that guy who got
Andrew Tate
thrown into prison this week.
Andrew Tate.
Who was Santos?
George
Santos.
Yeah.
Lady George.
Oh, right, there's George Santos.
Poor Georgie boy.
He reminds me of Gizmo from What We Do in the Shadows. He reminds me of Guillermo from What We Do in the Shadows.
He does remind me of Guillermo from What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah, he does look just like him.
Sorry, that's probably really racist, and I shouldn't say it, but it does.
On the bin, we've been covering Georgie Boy for years, and it is, man, there is no way we saw this coming 2-3 years ago. It was like, yo, he's gonna get busted. Yo, not the OnlyFans. No, you didn't steal the identities of all of
the
who donated to your cause.
Wasn't enough for you?
Just to spend it out. Like he used campaign money for OnlyFans and other things to enjoy while watching OnlyFans. That's like, dude, come on, dude.
Is Trump
not with the constituents? That's what I'm thinking. Well, I mean, he stole from people's mamas and stuff.
He's gay? He's
this is Michael Warden in the chat saying, "Psst, Andrew Tate is gay." Yeah, that's the joke. That is the joke.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course he is. He's gay. And he has a small penis.
I don't think he has a penis. From what I've seen,
it's like a Posh's bonnet down there.
It's an innie, not an outie.
It's an innie.
It's an.
No one is that bitter unless they have a small penis. No one.
Typically, people are more
that explains. That totally explains.
I'd like to object to your generalization. Some of us are.
He's a bitter man. Like that.
Yeah, but I'm not bitter.
A girl told him he had a small PB, and he went out and made a podcast.
I think
is that the 1-to-1 ratio there?
Literally, that is what happened.
I don't want to do any like victim blaming here, but I think there are a handful of women out there that are responsible for the manosphere. Someone broke these little boys. Someone told them about themselves, and they have lost their. They looked right at it and they laughed. And they fucking lost it. Some woman broke them.
It's a woman's fault, of course.
It's always a woman's fault. Yeah, I'm with Tan on this one. What, Mikey? No, Mikey.
I'm just.
Mikey, they do it to themselves. The Incel.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think they go into the locker room.
Male loneliness epidemic is their own damn fault.
They go into the locker room. They go to the gym. They get their muscles, and then they notice that their PPs are a lot
You're
smaller
still
than
on
the
the
other
dicks.
guys in the locker room.
It's
100%. This is
what
about dick
happens
size.
when
100%.
you take steroids.
These people, these boys, have never spoken to a woman. Okay, so they see a woman across the road, and then they imagine in their heads walking over the road and saying, hey, would you like to go on a date?
Yo.
And she says, haha, no fucking way, you ugly little fucker.
See,
Go and
this
die a
is what they
virgin.
were told.
And then they
were
burst
told you
into
can't-
tears at the imagined slight that the woman across the road has just given them.
See, they've been told their entire lives that you can't talk to girls. Girls are different creatures. You can't talk to them.
Can't be friends with girls.
You can't be friends because
and they are objects. They are pornographic objects.
And what
They're
happens is
fed
then
that
they
as well.
don't learn how to communicate with girls, and girls learn how to communicate with each other because that's all we have. We're not supposed to be friends with boys either. But we learn how to communicate with each other. Boys, when they do not know how to do that, then turn into incels.
Yeah,
And they just go on the Twitter and they say mean things about
I was just trying. I was
in a way,
women.
Mikey, you are right in a way, because there is a woman responsible, which is his mum, who should have had a wank instead of giving birth to
You
So
women
anyway,
need to stop giving birth to these incels.
Exactly, stop birthing
Should have been
No more men births.
Should have been a drip
Use
out
your
from
own.
the diaphragm.
Well, when the baby comes out and it's male, they need to do what the Spartans did, just off the
Put him in prison.
Discard.
There you
In
go.
prison, yeah. See,
somebody else raise
Tansky,
that.
my idea is coming back into it's coming
Straight
into focus
into
now,
prison.
It was
And
my
you're gonna
idea.
earn your way
to put
out.
the men in prison. And you said you extended it to white men, I think.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Until proven innocent.
I've got a bunch of. I've got a bunch of.
Until proven not an incel.
I've got.
I like women.
Prove
How
your
are you gonna
ability
do that
to
while you're in
talk to
jail
men.
with other men? That's all you.
Hey, you're an incel until proven innocent.
Well,
I'm an
they'll
ally,
see
what
their
can I
penises
say?
are small in jail as well when they go to jail because
You still going on about dicks?
Scott.
Scott.
100%. I'm
God.
convinced this is the reality.
Scott's
of it.
general
God.
societal view is about measuring dicks.
No, not general societal view. This is about the incels.
That's
I reckon, on average, the incels have smaller PPs than the general male population.
And it's true. Yeah, and
This is a new
you know,
podcast
I keep
This is
this.
a bad thing to say, man.
Why?
I keep
does he
this
have
close
it?
to
Does he
hand.
have it?
permanently.
Mikey, just imagine it.
This is how I assess all of my male relationships. basically.
And that is
Very
exactly
important.
how you should assess them. But in all seriousness,
You're not helping, Scott. You're not helping. It's not the size; it's what you do with it that counts. Clearly,
That's
clearly.
But
what
what I'm trying to say is, no, I honestly think
Not
that
the most
that
important
has
thing in the
something to do
whole
with it.
interaction.
That has something to do with it. There's an insecurity that is so embedded within these incels that there has to be something physical as well as emotional.
We
and
discussed this on
intellectual.
the Gate show, the Gate 8 show. You can
Yeah.
Gatekeeper.
you can talk about gatekeeper. Gate.
I don't know why you guys keep trying to fob me off into doing my own podcast. This is not the first time this subject has come up.
We know about
You should do a podcast doing this. You should
Scott,
do a
you'd be
I'm
great.
not doing any
Come on.
podcasts anymore. I'm
We're
done
just
my
casting.
podcasting.
We're
No, but
casting you. That's all.
Scott,
Hey, there
all
you
you'll
go.
have to do is speak, and I'll just do all the rest. I'll do all the
We're
production
just-
and the thumbnails.
We're just throwing up ideas. You just throw it right back if you don't.
Because
like it.
I
Sexy
think
voice.
it would be
There you go.
fucking
898,
brilliant.
throw it right back.
I think it would be absolute fucking.
Is it that
gold.
far fetched of a theory though?
What?
No.
No.
It's not a far-fetched theory. No.
There's a physicality
And-
as
and it-
well as an
because
emotional thing.
because they don't have any like honest interactions with other people, so they're getting all of their knowledge about the human body through porn.
From porn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wolfenstein. So if you just constantly, just like the images in media that young ladies have to deal with, porn is over there on the opposite side of it, making men feel completely inadequate because they don't have some baseball bat between their legs, and they expect, okay, boys,
He's
if
got
you're
a figure
boys,
yourself.
boys, if you're out there and you're thinking that that's what you need, if you show that to a young lady, she's going to put you out. And where do you
we're
plan
gonna
on putting that thing?
Literally that.
You seen the
And
representation?
what do you plan on doing with that?
the
Okay.
representation
Like it is,
Women
Mikey.
should have a challenge.
Yeah.
They're
exactly.
sitting in their basements eating What's-Its, playing video games. The only representations is the
Hey,
what's in.
let's
Have
not
you
bring
seen the
down the
women in
What's-It,
video
okay?
games?
The
The
What's-Its
waists
are
are 5
they're
inches
tiny.
and they're out here and their boobs are that way. I mean, you wouldn't function as a woman.
It-
But that's the
Rachel,
image of women they see in video
I
games.
only
may
picked that
surprise
character
you
for
to
the
know that
agility
it's-
bonus.
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah, it's
that's
got
why they
nothing to do
think
with
they
looking
can
at the ass.
judge.
It may
Real
surprise you
women.
all to know
Cozy,
that
you're
most
right.
video game characters are created by men. So that's
No.
And so their
No.
expectation of a woman is their video
Oof.
game
Mind
fantasy.
Yeah.
And anybody outside of that is not considered a woman.
And porn fantasy, absolutely.
Yeah.
I saw a documentary once called Laura
And then
Croft
when they
Tomb
see a
Raider.
sorry, Mikey, when they see a real woman,
Yep.
because she packs a punch, she's a bloke in a dress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
Mikey.
So that,
Lara
that's
Croft-
two
We need to
things,
have,
isn't
we
it?
need to
Croft
have
is
a
not a bloke
separate
in a dress.
I think
Zoom with us ladies.
Yep.
It,
Not
like
today.
this idea of like ideals that no one's ever going to achieve. Plus, young men took down the pipeline, the toxic masculinity pipeline. But the same thing pushes women of a certain age down the fucking
absolutely.
turfy the timeline or whatever.
Oh, I'm not
Tube.
going down the turfy, but obviously, the older you get, you know, you're looking at magazines all the time, and they're always, you know,
Photoshopped.
Telling you how
Airbrushed.
gross you are.
telling
because
you
you're
what to
old.
wear, how to be,
It's,
you know.
it's instilled into you from birth. I saw
Yeah.
something the other day about 90s eyebrows. I know it's in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. But that
What is
eyebrow never fully grown back because the beauty standard in the 90s was to have like really thin eyebrows.
Yeah.
It's a thread full
Oh
of.
yeah.
I don't have eyebrows anymore because we were told that, you know, that was the attractive beauty standard, and it changes. And women's
And
body,
now you've got to look like Groucho Marx.
but women's body is not.
I kept my bushy eyebrows.
This is
Brow.
Yeah.
Our bodies are not there to be trends. Our bodies are just fucking bodies.
If you go into a Boots in the UK, it's full of tanning stuff to make your skin darker. If you go into a Boots or equivalent in Malaysia, it's full of skin whitening cream.
Make your skin paler.
Bleach.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And
Wow.
skin, hair relaxing products for, you know, women of color, and then you've got like, ways to make your hair all curly if
The
you're
volumizing, curling.
if you're a
Fat
woman.
knickers.
You wouldn't believe the amount. You wouldn't believe the amount of money I have
Yes,
to pay
the
for this.
knickers, the smoothing knickers.
Oh,
The hair
did you see your
bleach
boy? Did you see your boy Elon walking out to the Air Force One with his
No.
little girdle? You can see all the little rolls going over the top.
Was he was wearing what do they call them on TikTok? They call them
Waist
slimming
trainers?
tops. No,
Waist,
slimming.
they call them waist trainers.
Yeah.
They call
Whatever
He
it
got
is, it was
them.
a
He
girdle.
got their long ass underwear that come all the way up to you, up past your
I want
ribs.
his nipples.
Yeah.
It's a weird shaped fella.
Jesus
He got
Christ.
the
You get
super
muffin
wedgie
top.
pants.
Muffin top.
Yeah.
time.
He had a
Oh,
muffin top, but it
God.
was like at his rib cage, and I was like,
Hang on, it was up to the like.
Why?
yeah, because that's where it stopped.
No, because he's built like a Tesla, isn't he? Like not a Tesla,
A Cybertruck.
Cybertruck.
Oh,
He's angular. He's like he looks like a human.
Is that him? Why
he's
him and
got a
Trump
barrel
gone so
chest,
well? They
and
have
now
the
He
same
lay-
body shape.
He lay on the
Yeah,
floor
yeah,
and he
he
built
does.
like a damn dustpan.
Yeah. You can't.
Wow.
I've got some
You
super
got that
chats.
dustpan body, girl. You know you like that dustpan
I'm
body.
gonna-
Real wide. Got a little arc on the got an angle on that bitch. It's about 45 degrees. Come on.
I've got a couple
Wow.
of super chats to go through. So I just want to say huge thanks to Alan Jackson for the super chat. As long as the bins are consenting adults. Andy Thompson, £5 super chat. Get around demonetization. Set the show description of your Sunday chat to "It's all about 1980s Dennis Taylor's glasses" and spell it FARQ bins like a far like a snoop.
Oh.
And then
FARQ
Andy
bins.
says sorry.
Yeah, quite right. Andy.
So thanks.
You did pay for the privilege of that
Apology
pun, so it's okay.
He did. He paid. That was a
Apology
£5
accepted.
super chat. I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
That joke was worth £5.
Your apology is
There you
go.
accepted.
Your apology has been accepted. Questionable Absanity. Did Mike ever get to play with the Bren?
Yes.
Brenner, do you what? No, what's going on here?
Whoa.
We used to
I
compete and take it apart and reassemble it with a blindfold, and it is great fun on the 400
Oh, is
meters.
this
range.
a
Brett,
kitty
no.
military
This is
thing?
gun.
Yeah, I think
The
so.
LMG.
Terrible military pus,
It's
but yeah,
done.
I did get to take a Bren gun apart. Yeah.
There you go.
get to that part.
There you go. And Alan Jackson says, I'm autistic and avoid neurotypicals because they're weird. Thank you very much for the super chat. I don't avoid neurotypicals because they're weird. They avoid me because I annoy them too much. I just won't shut up.
We're
Apparently,
all in here, Graham.
I'm like Woody Woodpecker.
We can
like
hear
Woody
you.
Woodpecker tapping onto the side of your head. That's what
Is that what you've been told by an autistic person?
No, by a neurotypical.
How do they know they're neurotypical?
How do I know they're neurotypical?
How do people know
they
they're
told it.
neurotypical? I'm not sure I know anybody who's neurotypical.
Maybe they have a life.
Half the panel here are neurotypical.
Are they? Who?
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 Oh, great. I should have some question
Hands
marks
up,
to come up
who
on.
is neurotypical?
Hey, this isn't a Scarlet Letter
sorry,
Fest.
I meant,
What are we doing right now?
neurodivergent. Oh, sorry, I got the wrong thing. I'm sorry.
Graham. Graham, you should ask.
Because a couple of you guys have ADHD. I'm not being an asshole. A couple of you guys have ADHD,
Oh,
right?
we've got various.
Tan and I were diagnosed together.
Dyslexic.
Yeah, right.
Just
So
like
I'm
in
You're
Disco
neurodivergent,
2000.
right?
I'm currently, since about 4 or 5 weeks, sitting on the forms to get assessed. For
I was there.
I was
yeah, a bit behind.
3 months.
You know what?
Oh, is that all?
3 months, but it took me 2 months to fill it out.
Oh no, I literally
Oh my God.
my GP told me the website where to go to, and I came home, sat down, and filled it out. It was done half an hour after I got home.
No,
She got a different spicy than our spicy.
Yeah.
That shit would have been there for about 6 months.
No, because I knew it was either that or I'm not going to touch it for 6 months, and I have to go back to get the URL again because I will have forgotten what to look up.
How long were you waiting, Tan?
Me? How long waiting for what?
For your appointment
Assessment.
Well,
ADHD.
the first time I was on a waiting list for a year and a half, called in to check, and they said, we didn't, you've been rejected by the NHS. So then I went, and they didn't even tell me that I'd been rejected. I was just thought I was in the waiting list for a year and a half.
So you were rejected. What do they mean by that? Like,
oh, they just said, because
you're a reject.
Because you've already been diagnosed with stress disorder, we're just going to think that. So they didn't even.
So you didn't get an assessment or anything?
As a woman, no, but no, nothing.
Fucking
but
hell.
with that, and that's going to help the stress disorder, isn't it?
Yes.
So, I was like, okay, right, took it, went to Right to Choose, went down that route, was waiting another year and a half, and I did thought, oh fuck, I haven't checked in after a year and a half. I was like, shit. So I checked in, they were like, oh, your referral bounced back after a week. And I was like, okay, I'm going to sue you. And they're like, okay, we'll sort you out of an appointment then. And they like, it took a lot for me to get to the point of saying, like, this is negligence. Like, I'm going to sue you. And
that's the problem is probably incompetence as well, because I got mine entirely by accident.
Well, they within 8 weeks.
They were supposed to book me in for a COVID test, and I ended up doing an ADHD test.
Well,
that sounds like a very ADHD
wrong door.
thing to do.
Welcome to the NHS.
Yeah, and then
Bro,
they
they can't
pestered me
read.
to do it. They
I
sent
mean,
me this
That's like when I
questionnaire
go to
and I'm going,
Aldi
"No,
and I
that's
go
not what
in
I
to buy one
wanted."
thing and I come out with like a lawnmower or something.
up the middle aisle, mate.
I went in for an appendix and got
Thing
gender
is-
reassignment surgery.
Yeah, it wasn't a choice. Rachel.
All of my trans friends are rather up in arms now about the promise by Labour that all trans kids are going to get tested for autism. Hallelujah! We're finally going to get diagnoses more quickly.
Yeah, they're still trans, but they also.
Yeah, exactly.
But
But at least
Doesn't it scream to you though that it's trying to find an excuse for them being trans?
Of
yeah,
course
but that's
it
the whole
is.
thing about.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
First thing that popped
Same
into my
thing
head.
about
I'm not the only one that thought
It's
that.
just,
Like they're
yeah.
trying to find
If you're
something.
trans, you've got a
Yeah.
mental disorder.
Trans
Yeah,
is the
something's
bad
wrong.
outcome. Everything. It's got. Is it? Are you autistic? Have you got? You've got depression? Is it? Are you from
Trauma.
Mars? No. Oh well, he might be trans. The trans is the bad outcome for them.
This is what I
Yeah.
think the JFK announcement that he's going to get to the bottom of
RFK.
by September.
RFK.
Sorry.
Don't
He's
talk
gonna-
about JFK.
Sorry, what's
Yeah,
he
sorry,
getting
sorry,
on the
sorry.
bottom
Yeah,
of?
still too soon.
He's gonna make a database of
Are we sure it's not young girls he's getting on the bottom of?
No, more than
Sorry.
likely. But no, he
Yeah.
announced that he was going to solve autism by September.
Oh,
He
is he
did.
now?
Yes.
Oh, is he now?
He was going to do it in
Already
July.
half
He was
of
going to
them
do
are
it in
Dead by
July.
smallpox.
He's like,
Autism
he
is
said,
genetic. We
He-
already
Is he
he
gonna
said
have
it-
a
he said
final
he was-
solution like they did
he-
with the T4 program?
Yeah.
he
What
said
they're
he was
gonna
going to do it in July, but it's getting pushed back till September. Like,
Yeah.
so he's just, got to get some final things together.
The thing is,
Yeah,
because
a
there's
final
been,
solution.
there's been fewer
Psychopath.
pirates than there
Literally
were in the
that.
past. That's made autism go up, you see. So if we have more pirates, we'll have less autism.
Okay, what? Where? When? What? What?
Because
The
correlation
pirates.
is causation, isn't it? Isn't that the thing
Ah.
that they want to
Well-
ban vaccines?
Graham, would you like to buy this ring I have here? It keeps away the rhinos.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'll
Notice-
get one of them.
Rhinos.
Notice no rhinos around.
Yeah.
us.
But I want one of them. Those Republicans in name only.
It works. It works 100% of the time,
Yeah,
as you can see.
yeah. But Robert F. Kennedy is terrifying. He's like the final villain boss on a.
And
fucking
people
video
wanted
game or
him to be
something.
He's
president.
not the final villain boss. He's only level 6.
Is that because his name ends
But he
with
sounds
FK?
horrible. He
His
sounds
worm
he's
is the
been
final boss.
Gargling glass.
He sounds like a washing machine being
Don't make
kicked
me
up
pull
the
it out,
stairs.
Lucky. I will.
Like he actually does sound like
Yeah.
He
just
sounds like he's dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sounds like the least
yeah.
He
healthy
sounds
person
like-
on the planet.
In charge.
I've
He
never-
sounds like what Mitch
He's in
McConnell
charge of our
looks
health,
like.
Graham.
Do you know what I mean? Like Mitch McConnell.
That's how McConnell should talk.
That's what McConnell. Yeah, he sounds like what Mitch McConnell should sound like. Yeah,
Does anyone remember the show?
corroded, dead being.
Does anyone remember the show from the 1980s? It was a Jerry Anson puppet show and had Zelda in as the witch.
Terrorhawks.
Yeah.
Terrorhawks.
The Terrorhawks.
Terrorhawks.
Yeah, remember how Zelda used to speak and she was all like, she's kind of bubbly in a. She's like,
Terrorhawks.
He reminds me of Zelda from the Terrorhawks.
Sea
I
dragon.
saw a drag queen that looked like
I
Zelda.
feel-
As does Katie Hopkins, who is honestly the
Oh.
spit of her.
he came up as
I-
a friend request suggestion on
What?
Facebook.
Katie
The
Hopkins.
people you might want to be friends with on Facebook. She came up as a suggested friend on Facebook.
Oh my god, I take it you told Facebook to fuck off.
So
Oh, that's what
so
Facebook are pushing those
glad
people.
I'm on
Ew.
Facebook.
They're
I
pushing
know.
those sort of
Facebook,
people.
fuck off, and when you get there, fuck off a bit more.
Genuinely
Remember, it's
foiled.
Facebook wants to be
Zuckerberg.
right wing. They're pushing these people on.
Like
Oh,
I
I
was like,
Zuckerberg.
look, I
Mhm.
don't know where it came from. It's like it's such a trolling attempt, man. It's like what you
Yeah, it's part of the plan.
It's all your
I know
fault.
it sounds
I'm
very
not on so-
conspiratorial, but like Zuckerberg, this is whole. He wants to right wingify the Facebook. Isn't he?
Yeah.
Is
It's
it
all your
doggo?
fault. All of your fault. I'm not on social
You
media.
know how everyone
Oh,
automatically now
Yes.
follows.
The only reason I
President
know the
Trump?
world is bad because of you lot. Keep telling me about it. You know, I
Oh,
don't
fuck.
Rachel.
know.
We need to.
Rachel, have
pretend
we have we
everything's
mentioned
awesome.
this week the world's really bad? It's really
Right.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
No, it's
thanks.
not. Canada
It's
had a
going to
really
hell
good
in a
result in
handbasket.
their election. Peter Pocket, who was the leader of the cunts on the other side, he's lost his seat like a twat. And Sinners is really good. And someone in the chat today said, I went to see Sinners because you recommended it and it was really good.
No,
Go and see Sinners.
Incredibly
Did you
good
guys-
review
have
as
you
well
read
this
it?
week.
Speaking
Graham, but I saw
speaking of-
Conclave and I really thought that was excellent.
Speaking of Ryan Coogler, did you guys know that he got pretty much at gunpoint, like pulled out of a bank because he was like pulling cash out of his account? It was like during COVID, so he had like a mask on, so I guess the people didn't recognize who he was. But he was just going to the bank and he's got like a housekeeper or whatever, and he pays her cash, and like he just wanted to like grab some of his own money with his own thing, and the teller like hit the panic button, and the fucking cops showed up and pulled him out, gunpoint, the whole thing. This is the guy. Black Panther was like maybe a year out.
Yeah.
This is like a year after Black Panther or something like that. Yep. Fucking cops pulled him out of the bank for him trying to get his own money. Like he's not filthy fucking rich. Like, dude, he's got a Disney movie. I think he's got some money in his account.
It's fine.
I mean, at the end of the day, guys, it's gotten a lot worse than that in America. You guys don't hold trials anymore, so yeah.
No. We just send
Yeah,
people to El
there's
Salvador.
Yeah,
that
you just
too.
send them away.
Photoshop MS13
well,
sorry, guys.
on
Oh,
my
I thought
God.
this
There
was
is a
MS
trial.
13.
They'll
It
arrest the
said
judge.
MS-13 on his hand.
Do you want me to show you the photograph,
that
Scott?
I will show you the photograph.
It's like in
Fucking
perfect
idiot.
Times New Roman across it.
Oh,
It's like, are you guys that stupid? That stupid?
Yes.
I don't know who you are, but
knows this. I think he knows this, but I think it was pure gaslighting. I think he knows that was added in
Because
but
he
wants
could
people
shoot
to
somebody
believe.
on
No.
Fifth Avenue
No,
and
I think
won't
he's that
lose
thick.
any supporters.
I
Yeah.
think
I don't
he
Exactly
thinks
what
that
it
if he
is.
flies over Greenland, he will see the word Greenland written across
Yeah.
Greenland on.
He
All
is
computer.
dumb.
If you watch
In
the whole interview,
aerial.
Scott, honestly,
I did
honestly,
watch
he
a lot of
believes
it.
it. He
Yeah.
believes it.
You
That's
think
the
he
saddest
honestly
bit.
believes?
Do you think
So-
this
Thank you
person
very
He
much.
is
thinks it's
sane?
physically.
No.
He thinks it's physically on there.
Yeah. His son's a genius because he can turn a computer on.
It's all
The world
computer.
is a wonder for him.
It's all computer.
Hey, you guys want me to start up the Tesla? You want to hear it? You want me to rev it?
Yeah.
Stupid
Right
motherfucker.
with the Tesla.
You're like, I'm gonna
Tesla.
fire it up. You want me to fire it up? Fire what up, dumbass?
What?
It's
You want to listen to this engine?
Yeah, you want to listen to the computer go on?
I've upset someone in the chat, by the,
The
way.
radio?
No.
radio?
I've
You mean?
upset Alan. I've upset Alan, who said stop being cruel
Uh-oh.
to Zelda. Because I said that she looked like Katie Hopkins.
I've no
I'm
idea
so
who the-
sorry, Zelda, you alien witch who
Who are you
terrorizes the Terrorhawks.
Terrorhawks.
Legends of
Terror
Zelda.
No, it's a different Zelda.
But you come for Zelda.
No, I would never. Oh my god. I would never even dream of it, Tan. No, this is a different Zelda.
Mike.
It's Zelda who was married to F. Scott Fitzgerald and possibly wrote all his books, but he got the credit for it.
Hey Tan.
Oh, that's
Hey,
another
Tan.
Zelda. What?
Hey Tan. Did you know that Robin Williams was a huge Zelda fan?
No, I did not. But all the best ones were Rick Mail.
Guess what his daughter's name is?
No.
Yeah.
Link.
Link.
Don't go.
Because they always get it wrong. They always think it's that. But
Yeah, he
it'd be
named his
amazing
daughter
if
Zelda.
his daughter's called Zelda after.
Yeah.
Oh
After
my
the game.
god! After Legends of
The
Zelda.
game, yeah.
God.
Very
That is
sweet.
so cool, man. Honestly, like I've not got any tattoos, but the only tattoo that I want is the Triforce. It's the only one that I'd like.
I'm
to-
just
That's my
glad the right
favorite
wing.
stat that I heard this week is that the regret amongst people who have got Harry Potter tattoos is
Oh,
like
yeah, I saw
10
that.
times
Get
the
them all
amount of
covered up.
regret that people have after having
They're
gender
having- there's a-
realignment
there's a-
surgery.
Yeah, having them removed. They're having them. There was a article in the Independent. I think it was Independent about a tattoo company that's setting up to remove any Harry Potter tattoos that you may have. It was. I think
Really?
it was in the Independent. Yeah. So
Yeah.
people regret Harry Potter.
Our
regret.
friend Hannah has got a Deathly Hallows tattoo on the back of her neck.
Fucking hell, I
Oh,
don't
my
understand why
ex-boss
people
had
get,
the Deathly
like-
Hallows and had written across her arm always.
Oh
So
my
it's
god! Why do-
absolutely enormous.
I mean,
And I
cultural
just look at her every day going,
cultural phenomenon.
Maybe it's an
like
advert for the sanitary towel company.
Yeah.
maybe.
it's just so weird, man. I've never.
Guys, while we're in a lull, I'm gonna go because
I'm
unlike
sorry, I
Graham,
called you
I'm
a
not.
soy boy, Mike. I love you.
Stuff, mate.
Yeah, I'm-
Unlike Graham, I'm not superhuman and I can't do this forever.
Yeah, how many hours you stream this week, Graham?
About 90.
Oh.
Thanks so much, Mike.
He's always
Incredible.
on.
Mike, you are an absolute
Bye.
legend.
We'll
Mike.
see you
Love
later,
you.
Mike.
Love you all.
Love
Take
you
care,
too.
my
Bye.
Bye.
They've got me far behind. My ADHD brain can't handle all the input. It's going, oh, I'm trying, but it's like, oh, there's so much input.
All right, Mike's gone. Let's talk about
All
it.
right, Johnny
Yeah.
Five.
Hey, you don't know the struggle. I was going to say to our friends from Canada, how are you feeling about having our weird fucking royal family inflicted on you?
Oh yeah.
What?
Jesus Christ,
We-
Sausage Fingers is coming over for your opening of Parliament with his mad fucking pork.
Oh, is he?
We don't worry about the royal family that much, honestly. Yeah, they come over and they do royal visits, and we get an excuse to have a parade or whatever.
God, what a
Right.
Brave like this.
They're so like secondary to it. They don't really.
Ollie's sounding relaxed.
Yeah.
They're all the Canadians are getting relaxed again now, aren't they? I like them when they're all fired up. They're all like,
Dude.
it's fine. He's coming. Hey, nice socks. I mean, they're back to themselves, aren't they? They're back to
Out
them.
there.
A little bit. Graham, the other day after we went off the air, we were waiting for it to hit 163. Less than 2 minutes after we went off the air, it hit 163. 5 minutes later, it was 164.
Oh, really? Was it that close?
Yeah.
Because you were
Yeah.
like, oh, it's going to stay
Quitters.
on this now. And it went up to
I-
169. It finished on 169, didn't it?
168.
168, sorry.
the Quebec seat that we had gotten went back to the Bloc Quebec Quad.
Okay.
And
So
it was only by 44 votes, I think it was.
So in the Canadian election, the number you needed for a majority was 172, and the Liberal Party got 168. Now, confusingly, it's the Australian election tomorrow, and the Liberal Party in Australia are the Fash. They're the Conservative Party. Yeah. So they're the baddies in this one. It's like when you're watching an American thing, when the American elections are coming in, and you get a bit confused because in our country, red is left wing and blue is right wing, but they switch it around in America.
It's like the Chris, green used to be cheese and onion, and blue was salt and
vinegar. I hate that.
Oh no!
Can we talk about that for the next 2 hours?
What the
fuck? Light blue, clearly, and dark blue for ready salted. No green for cheese and onion.
No company is allowed to change their packaging after releasing it. Sorry, if you don't like it, it doesn't matter. I need to be able to grab a bag based on color and not eat peanut butter and garlic or some weird shit. Changing the bags now.
The thing we used to have to rely on hunting in the wild, and now you're going. Oh, I can't
now we're worried about the color of the bag.
A white rabbit in the snow.
I've got a question.
We relied on what color the berries are.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a question. I've got a question for Mikey and Brenna.
The color of the berries.
I've got a question for Mikey and Brenna. What do you think is the best-selling flavour of crisps in the UK, or what you could say chips?
In the UK.
In the UK or in America?
Hang on, I asked Brenna and Mikey. What do you think is the best-selling flavour of crisps?
Where?
Because Canada, it's the all dressing, right? It's the
all dressed,
all dressed one, which is actually pretty damn good.
It's really good.
What is it?
Just saying.
What is that?
All dressed. That's what they. That's the Canadian.
What does that taste like?
It's like ketchup, barbecue, salt and vinegar, and sweet and sour cream.
Like everything.
Literally need to try this.
It genuinely is everything flavor.
Yeah, very good.
They had some in the store. I had to get some.
I got some Pringles ones in the.
But for you guys, I'm gonna go salt and vinegar.
Yeah, you're right. It's salt and vinegar.
Is it?
I found it really difficult to get salt and vinegar anywhere in the United States. Like, it's not a
barbecue.
It's not a thing anywhere outside the UK.
We have salt and vinegar.
No.
We have salt and vinegar. It's just not. It's not one of. It's basically like barbecue is one of the top ones, and
paprika,
nacho cheese is.
My mom is an English woman, was very, very big on the salt and vinegar crisps, and she used to get them all the time in America. So
in Australia,
it's never a problem.
It's regular, just plain, like Lay's. Like, so you got your plain, you got your barbecue, sour cream and onion. And then
don't forget your low salt for the sodium conscious.
And then if you get a thicker chip like Ruffles.
Yeah, there you go. There's the
all dressed.
It's really good. If you come across some all dressed, get some all dressed.
Would you go for sour cream and onion, whereas we go like just full cheese and onion?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So one thing I noticed about us Westerners is
they don't.
Us Westerners, we never have any of like the cool Asian shit. Like they'll have like shrimp and
we have that. We have prawn cocktail.
Do you get pickled onion flavor corn chips?
That's not in America. No.
What about Worcestershire sauce?
Not in America.
Right.
You mean
okay, Mikey? I'm not doing this swap thing. I'm not doing this swap with the MAGA thing. I'm not doing it.
You know what dumbfounded me when I moved here?
It's off now.
No, you're taking them, Graham.
No,
it is not a choice.
What dumbfounded me when I moved here was beef flavored crisps.
Oh man,
absolutely blew my mind.
Fucking awesome.
Chicken flavored crisps.
Yeah. Oh, chicken.
Burger flavored crisps.
Fucking awesome.
Bacon, frazzle. I love frazzle.
Bacon frazzles. Yeah.
So since you've been gone, Scott, the people at Lay's,
America now. Chicken flavor.
No, I'm saying since you've been gone, Lay's has been on an
I can't breathe for the first time.
Lay's has been on an absolute, like, I don't know if they got like edibles in the break room or something. Bro, every other week they have some crazy ass flavor and it like tastes like the food. But then they get rid of it and then it's gone and you can never
That's
get
how
it.
I got the all
and you had the Kentucky Fried Chicken flavored crisps.
What?
We had those over
I
here
think
for a
it's-
while.
I know why
KFC
that is,
flavored crisps.
Mikey. I
Because
think.
I was working at the grocery store, so like every time something would come in, we were like, buy 2 of the big bags, put in the break room. It's store use. We
Yeah.
gotta know what
Trying
we're
it.
selling. So we're trying that
Somebody's
shit.
gotta-
So we
We're
try.
We're
Yeah,
getting
makes
loads of
sense.
love in the chat here for this. Salt and vinegar, that's my least favourite, says George. We've got Monster Munch from Gilly. We've got Paprika, is nice, by the way. We've got Smoky Bacon, Space Raiders. Smoky Bacon is the
Hell
best
yeah,
flavour. Beef
Space
Space Raiders. We've got Walker's
Space
roast
Raiders.
chicken are a bit marvellous. Real pickled onions on mushy peas with either pie and chips or fish and chips would be good, says Super
Oh,
Tiny going off on one. Anyway, I've got some super chats. Before we go on, Alan Jackson says, I'm autistic and avoid neurotypicals because they're weird. Thank you. I agree. They are fucking weird. Can't be dealing with them.
That's funny.
And there's also questionable sanity in there. Tansky, thanks for suggesting 2073. Dystopian Gold. This movie by our friend Asif Kapadia, which was a bit of a mind fuck, wasn't it?
It was actually like, yeah, I really lost it at points during that film. And ask the person that sent that message in if they chuckled throughout the opening.
I doubt they did. I doubt they were as drunk as we were.
But you were drunk.
It's all right. It's not as though Julian Moore and Carol Cadwada and the actual director of the fucking film was in the auditorium with
And
us.
Brian Eno.
And Brian Eno was in the fucking room with us, because that would have been really fucking embarrassing.
Oh,
I'd never
mate.
go out in public again.
It's such a hard watch, but it's really important.
It's very good.
Like, have any of you guys in the chat seen it? No, it's
The trailer freaked me out.
the trailer's bad enough. It's kind of stylized. It's kind of part set in 2073 in this like dystopian future. But then it also goes back to kind of how it happened, and it actually goes through and really neatly explains like the links between the kind of like international far right network and the authoritarians and the tech bros, and how they are basically just fucking the world up. And it's like, if you don't deal with this now, this is pretty much what your future is going to look like a smog-filled dystopian fucking nightmare. And it's really well put together, and as if
It is an excellent film.
But of course, in that film, all the trans people are living in the nice tech bros, and we're all happy.
Yes.
And you are all on the outside
Clearly.
in that world, right? That's what happens, right?
everyone's fucked. Like, yeah.
Oh.
Tan, were you on the chat? Were you on the Friday Night Social when Asif came on and he was walking around New York on his phone?
Oh
Remember
God,
that?
yeah, because
And he
he
didn't
thought
know. He didn't know we were streaming. He just thought we were
he
having a
thought
chat.
he joined one of our campaigns.
And then afterwards, he was like, "Oh, what was that going out on YouTube?" And I was like, "Yeah."
And it's only after that you realise that, like, he himself, as an acclaimed Oscar-winning director, had been subjected to like detention because his limo driver thought he looked different or funny because he's an Asian man, and yeah, he faced, even as a really important member of the arts, as an acclaimed director, he faced shocking racism from the US authorities.
Well, Ryan Coogler, the director of Sinners and Creed, what Mikey was telling us then, he was dragged out of his car and all that kind of shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the crime is like,
Racial profiling in it.
the unconscious it's conscious and unconscious bias, isn't it? Which is why we must all resist the prospect of any government trying to kind of like pre-assess people for being possibly capable of murder.
I kind of want to remake 2073 as a comedy.
You think you could do it better?
Stay with me on this. Stay with me on this.
Time.
Right. So, you know Dr. Strangelove, the Stanley Kubrick film, beloved film, right? That was based on a book, right, called Failsafe. And it's the whole thing. But the book was really serious. And there was a film that was made with Jack Lemmon that was a straight adaptation of Failsafe. And it wasn't a comedy. It was a drama. It's horrific. It's really, I mean, you don't see any gore or any people getting blown up, but it's got one of the most disturbing endings of any movie of all time ever. And Stanley Kubrick read the same book and went, let's make a comedy out of this because this is so ridiculous. How can we? And it gets through to people better. And I think of this as like when you think of like future, dystopias. No offense, Tan, because dystopia warning in that, but like when it's something like Idiocracy, more people get into it and go,
Wow.
oh yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and more people watch it, so we get through to more people. So when we make something like 2073, it's a great movie, but it doesn't have the same reach as something like
It sounds like you like
Zoolander.
the producers, like is what you're talking
Yes.
about. Like,
Yeah. Because
Oh.
ridicule of these motherfuckers, it takes all their power away.
But
You
the thing-
laugh at them, they fucking hate it. They can't deal with it.
I think
Yeah.
it'd work, Graham, if it wasn't mostly documentary. I mean, the thing is, the vast majority of 2073 is like there's snippets of like it's stylized, I think, in order to frame the documentary and take a bit of the heat off of how fucking dark it is.
Did you prefer the documentary bit or did you prefer the drama bit?
Not about what I prefer, it's about facts. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, like you can obviously satirize the reality, but you've got to make it, as you say, like that there's all the problems, aren't there, with people that have tried to do films and satirize it, but it's a bit too close to the bone, like Fight Club and what's matey? The other one with the guy that kills all the people in New York.
American Psycho.
Yeah. So
Christian Bale.
or the other, I mean, I think that he should, if he'd made it as a straight documentary, there's no chance he'd have had any hope, I think, of getting it.
Yeah.
But he had to add the kind of context and the back and forth to stylize it, to frame the documentary side. So this is the thing, like, it's not like he's written fiction. He's like presented.
Yeah, I know. I preferred the documentary bits. I preferred it. I didn't mind the bit in the future with.
Yeah. I'd have watched
Samantha
it as a
Morton.
straight documentary. Absolutely. But I think he did that in a way to try and frame it to make it a little bit less, because he did say, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like he'd looked at a few of the other drafts without it, and it was just like pure bleakness. Just 100.
I used to go to school with a Sam Morton, and so Samantha Morton.
You went to school with her?
No, it was a lad called Sam Morton.
Oh,
and his
shit.
name was Sam Allen Morton, so his initial spelt Sam. And his stepdad used to live in a flat with Damon Albarn from Blair, and his stepdad was a postman. And the Blair song "Mr. Briggs" is about Sam's stepdad.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Just
my God.
random connections for everyone there. Hi Sam, if you're watching.
Sam's like, damn, bro, put all my whole business out on fucking blast. Didn't want anybody to know my dad was a postman. Thanks.
Yeah,
it was a family secret.
Questionable obscenity in the chat saying, fun fact, Mary Hannon directed American Psycho and also episodes of Dexter. We'll come to that in a moment because I do want to pick that up. But questionable obscenity, first of all. Thank you very much for the super chats. Walkers are the odd one out with cheese and onion versus salt and vinegar. I hear you. I hear you.
I am literally on a website right now, guys. I am about to buy them. The all dressed.
Yeah, get it.
Yeah, it's £5, and then also they've got Buffalo Ranch, which I have to try.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never heard. I've heard of it, but they don't have that here at all. You get Buffalo.
They used to have poutine flavored chips here.
Oh come
Yeah.
on!
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Poutine.
And they're good too.
Yeah. They're really good.
Chips and gravy, innit?
I think my Huey went down in Butang, but I don't know. It's a funny name.
Curd and gravy chips.
Yo, they had South Korean taco flavored. They had like kimchi.
it was really good.
They had all. I'm
Love the
telling
way
you.
you've just seamlessly gone back into crisp chat. But Mikey, what you were saying about the different flavors being mad, did that correlate with weed becoming legal in America?
No.
that would
It's
make
almost
sense,
a
though, wouldn't it?
Because weed's still not legal in America.
No,
It's,
in places, in the states it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's an individual state
But you
thing.
smell those gummy things like it's got THT and PCP and gummies. Having a tough day with the kids.
PCP.
The gummies.
Don't
They're
eat
on
that
television
motherfucker.
all the
No,
time.
I don't know about
You get yours.
THC.
Don't eat them.
Acid gummies. But I was thinking it was
Acid
What acid
Mushroom.
gummies? Where do
You're
you
thinking
get
about
them?
mushroom.
I was
He
like,
wants
where is
that
that
one.
website right now?
Yeah.
Tell me the
On that
website
website.
immediately.
But you're selling these stuff that makes you chilled out like smoking weed, right? Because it comes up on the YouTube channels, on some of the political channels. Oh, having a tough day with the kids, eat the PCP tablets. Oh, knock you out. It'll be great.
Okay, you
And
gotta
think,
stop.
how
You
are
gotta
selling
stop
it?
saying. You got. I gotta help you.
Oh my
I gotta help
God.
you.
Yeah.
Got
PCP
Chips
is
Ahoy
not-
cookies with Reese's peanut
I
It's
know.
not-
It's TH something or other, isn't it?
THC.
THC and CBD.
THC and CBDs.
But that's
CBDs is CBDs is medical,
Yeah.
right?
CBD.
THC gets you high.
Yeah.
All right. And
Yeah,
it's only
two
being
different
sold
things.
in legal states. It's not being sold everywhere in America. It is being sold pretty much everywhere in
I'm
Canada.
surprised by that. I'm surprised it hasn't gotten to that point where they did it all federally.
Well, this is
you
the
know what I
point.
mean?
It's here. That's nowhere is it legal. We still have to go to
No.
Tesco's and meet a weird guy, you know, if we want it.
Yeah.
Whereas in America, like there are states where it is. So I was wondering if the crisp manufacturers are based in the states where weed is legal.
Well, the thing
Because
is,
that's the case. They're like,
I know
right.
if there were Labor MPs that
I'm
went
sure
over
they
to
got test
America
groups in
to
those
look at
states.
the cannabis industry.
It would feel so weird if those adverts were on British television having a tough day. Here, bye. You know, chill out.
Fuck
You know,
is
it's
it?
like
Yeah,
Yeah,
but well, I mean, it's possible. This week we've seen that the weight loss jabs are going to become NHS prescriptions.
well, that's the opposite.
You'll be able to get them from the pharmacy.
Which
Hey,
I'm
before we
hopeful
go on,
because-
I've got a graphic that I want to share. You won't be able to see it because it's coming up on the
That's
main
helpful.
feed, but I'll describe it to you. You know the
Could have
feed
just did
of the
it. We wouldn't
guy.
have known.
You know the guy who's like winning and he's biting the medal and he's got the champagne and all that kind of stuff,
yeah.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
And then
yeah.
it's got the big, it's all the steps and he's at the bottom of the steps. All right, so it's that, and it's Reform's 676 seats. He gets a medal, he bites the medal, he's like this, and then he's with the champagne, and then he's on the steps, and at the top is Labour with 6,170 seats. To the Tories with 4,500 seats, the Liberal Democrats with 3,009 seats, the
Oh,
Greens with 850 seats, and then Reform are smashing the fucking champagne into their face with their 676
How many
seats.
seats
Very
are there?
good point.
How many
well
seats are there?
made.
I was about to say.
Can you
This
put
is all
that
the
in
local
the
councils.
Council
now I can
seats.
sleep tonight.
Graham, can you
There
put
you
that
go.
Yeah,
back
but
please?
This is council.
just how many seats are there? Like 10,000?
Yes.
The councils.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
are
yeah,
local.
Oh
Holy
my
shit.
Local
goodness.
councils.
That's
We
just
like
so
our
many people
officialdom
that have
in
to
the
be elected.
United Kingdom. We like our officialdom.
It's
we
really bitty, man. It's so ridiculously, needlessly
How do-
dramatic. Like,
How does anyone govern when everyone's part of the government?
Yeah. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Two out
we're
of
in charge
three
of
people
potholes.
are in charge of the
No.
third.
Mikey, central government still basically has control over making laws and everything else. It's kind of almost devolve power into the little local communities. So it's not, these are local councillors that don't get kind of like an MP wage. And then you've got obviously the main House of Commons where you've got your elected MPs for the entire region. So these
Yeah.
these
But
are just-
Mikey, I have
bit
a
like
question
federal
for
and
you.
state.
How many people are in the upper house of the American Congress? Their parliament?
100.
100 people. And how many people do they represent?
340 million.
Okay, so we've got a population of about 68 million over here. Guess how many members of the upper house we have?
You just said it. I don't know.
Well, the lower house is like 10,000 or whatever. The upper house is what?
10,000? No, the lower house is 650. That's all the MPs for all the constituencies.
The MP.
How many
Okay,
in
well,
the
whatever
upper
one we
house
were
of
just
which have
talking
got
about.
100?
Oh, isn't it like 600
No.
lords? Oh,
It's 829.
Yeah.
Oh God.
yeah, something like that.
Wow.
It's about the House of Lords.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
House of Lords, 829 people.
And these are people that are literally just like mates of the. I mean, some of
Yes.
these people. I mean,
Yeah.
Johnson put
Yeah.
Lord Lebedev, the son of a KGB agent, in the
Yeah.
House of, which means all he's got to do is turn up and he'll get free.
There's still hereditary peers, Tam. There's still
Still
people who
hereditary.
are born to be lords.
Want to be fucking lords. It is so fucked up. Honestly,
So
I'm so
corrupt.
angry.
What is the
Like,
point of that?
Terrible. People have gone
No,
in.
there's not. Well, what the point of that is making sure that all the richest, landowners, all the Tory wankers, basically get all
Still
them.
have a
They
say
have
in
a-
government.
We also still have our high priests in the House of Lords, like the top
Yeah,
people in the
bishops.
Church of England. They're in the
What?
House of Lords. Do you know that the only other country to have religious people in the legislature just by right, not by
Iran.
getting elected? Where?
Iran?
Yeah, it's Iran.
I was gonna say Iraq
Is it
or
the
Iran.
only one?
Yeah, Britain and Iran
Are
are
they
the
only
only
ones in
two
the
that
UK
have
and Iran? Wow.
religious people in the legislature without actually being elected.
Really, the separation of church.
We just
Well,
have
the UK doesn't
religion.
have separation of church and state. It never did, and as
No.
long as we have a monarch
it's such
that
a
is the head of the
fallacy.
church, it never will.
Yeah,
I get upset about
Lord
this
Hopkins.
as an atheist. I get upset about the fact that I've got to pretend to be a Christian. If I ever have kids of my own, I have to pretend to be Christian to get them into the good school. I hate that.
That sucks.
To me, that's
Yeah,
like
that
having
sucks.
to pretend that I support
Graham.
Manchester United in order to get the kids into the good school.
They changed that. You don't anymore.
Really?
Even
You
faith
don't have to
schools
declare?
like where I live, you know, that some of the selective faith schools, you no longer have to prove that they're baptized and that they regularly attend church. When I first started tutoring 20 years ago, yes, you did.
Okay.
25 years ago, but you don't anymore.
Well, we were still having to do this just like a handful of years ago. Like, you know, my brother had to do it. My partner had to do it.
Yeah, not that long ago, but you don't anymore.
So you don't have to go to church every week for 6 months.
No, you don't. You don't have to
school.
be religious. You don't have to follow that faith anymore. You don't even have to be baptized anymore.
Yeah, but can they discriminate
So, for
against
example,
you?
to get into Upton Convent, you no longer have to be. And
But
actually,
do they get preference to Catholic kids?
nope, not anymore.
All right, okay, that's new.
So it is new. It's, I would say, in the last.
Yeah, 6 months.
No,
3 months?
more like 7, 8, at least.
All right, okay.
Certainly was the case when my eldest went to secondary school. So that's 9.
Is that just in your area, or is that like countrywide?
No, I thought that was a national thing. I thought there was something about not being allowed to be exclusionary anymore. There's something about
Yeah, but they can
access
still
to
give
education.
preference to kids whose parents go to church.
I can't discriminate. That's oppression.
Well, exactly.
See,
That's a really good point.
being American,
Wow.
Mikey, really screws you up.
I think you-
My right to
That's
discriminate.
an American. That's a religious stick. I can't oppress you.
Ollie, how's things in Canada? Are things calmed down after the election? And what's next? Is Peter Polyev, is he going to fuck off now, or is he going to hang
He
around
lost
for a
his
bit?
seat.
He lost his seat, so it's hard to say. He's going to
said
have a
he was
hard
gonna
time
stay,
staying
wasn't
in
he? He got a-
control of.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
he's-
I think he got a job at Harvard.
What?
I think they offered him a professor's job in Harvard. I read something weird about him being offered a job in the States.
I have not heard of that, but
There's not going to be Harvard for very long.
Did anyone see the interview with Trump? Where
You're right. They do still prioritize Catholic
told you.
girls,
Yeah.
But also offer places. So
what you're saying? Hang on,
eligible
Cozy.
for
Hang on,
preschool
just
girls.
1 sec, just 1 sec,
Yeah,
because
go
I've got a
on.
little animation that comes up now, and it says, "I was right." Hey, there you go. Okay, you can continue now.
Yes, but so they accept non-Catholic girls who are eligible for free school meals or whose parents desire a Catholic education for them. So they're basically saying our education is still Catholic, that you have to put up with. The school prioritizes baptized Roman Catholic girls, but also offers places to non-Catholic girls based on merit, that's the entrance exam score, and potentially proximity to the school if there's oversubscription. And I know that out of the schools in my area, that actually has the best transitioning policy for pupils and has the best support for trans pupils.
Oh, that's
Go
good.
figure.
That's good. Thanks. And I just want to get back to what we were talking about with Trump for a moment. Someone mentioned Harvard. Did anyone see?
Yeah.
Did anyone see Trump this week getting Harvard mixed up with Harlem? Did you see this?
You never.
no,
see
I didn't
this?
see that.
So it was a black guy.
They're the same
Black
thing.
guy. This is 100 years of fucking Trump, right? 100 days, thank God. Not 100 years. 100 days of
I
I was
Trump.
gonna say, take it back.
Wait till we're saying
Take
that,
it
right?
back. Fucking take it back.
And
Oh my
there was a black
God,
guy,
no.
and he said about. I just want to ask him questions about, what's happening with Harvard and.
I'm 135 and I'm gonna run next
No,
year.
no.
I'm going to be the Pope.
Elon's going to create the cloning technology, and we're just going to
Yeah.
be faced
Right.
with Trump forever.
And
Like
he
Ultron.
said, is it a
What do
problem
I
with
do?
freedom of speech? Is there an issue with freedom of speech with you telling Harvard, what they're allowed to say? And Trump came back with because it was a black person saying the word Harvard. He translated it in his head to Harlem, and then he started going on about the riots in Harlem. The riots.
No, I hadn't heard this.
He's a very stable
in Harlem.
Yeah.
He's the smartest.
He has the bigliest words.
He's the smartest president we've ever had.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Everything he does,
Everybody
I have to
knows
watch
it.
it twice just to make sure it's not a fucking fever dream. Like, am I just imagining this?
Make sure it's
Like
not
you're like,
AI.
is this AI generated?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
please tell me
We're
this
in
is
this
AI generated.
2073 simulation. That's what we're real fucking nightmare.
The Matrix
I
is
want to
real.
wake up.
Oh, and
What's
by
the
the
safe
way,
word?
by the way, next week we will be having a taste test of the all-dressed crisps.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
And the Buffalo Ranch.
See,
And
Scott,
and then I might have bought
we
some
are
Reese's
we are
cereal.
talking about a podcast.
But Scott,
me testing out.
All you do is take a
crisps.
flavor. You take a flavor, a new flavor, and
You could just be a variety,
God, you would get
streamer,
so many
you know?
views.
Scott, can you save
Hi
them and then come
guys,
down to
it's
Brighton?
me,
Hi
Sky.
guys, look what we have.
Scott, can you come down to Brighton on the 23rd and bring you crisps? I
He's
wanna
gonna
try
eat
these
them. Don't
crisps.
do it.
No,
gonna eat your
Why are we gonna go to Mike's house?
we're going to Mike's house on the well, we're going to a pub near Mike's on the 23rd.
Why aren't we doing it
May.
at Mike's house?
No, I'm staying at Mike's house. We could do it, Mike. I don't know. I think he lives with
I feel like
someone.
that would be a lot easier than trying to set up in a pub, wouldn't it? Like,
Yeah, it'd be a lot more fun to set up in a pub.
Pub would be carnage on a Friday night. Like, you
Yeah,
don't
and it's fringe as well.
really
It's going to be brilliant.
I might be able to do it.
If you can do it, Scott, come down.
Yeah,
You
I
better
might be able to
order
do
more
it, yeah.
crisps.
Yeah.
If you want to
But then I
do
don't know, it
a Friday
depends.
night social
If
in
those
real
crisps-
life,
If those crisps are good, don't expect them to stick around.
oh, we have to get some more.
It's soggy by then.
But no, Scott, if you
They
want to come
are
down
good,
on
Scott.
the Friday, we're going to do a Friday night social. On the
Yeah.
Saturday, we're just getting wrecked. We're just going to walk around Brighton
Oh, you
and
want me to
just
stay in
enjoy.
Brighton overnight?
Yeah,
No,
with Mike.
Yeah, no, I have friends in Brighton. It would be actually kind of cool. Like this.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
What time do you want me and Brenna to show up?
Yeah, I gotta,
Can you
I
get
gotta
there
get
for-
my flight.
Can you get there for 7 p.m? Because I'll be racing down there after doing the agenda with.
That would be the issue.
I said this-
until a little
Rich,
bit
are you
later.
coming?
I wasn't
said-
invited.
You are invited, Rachel. You're
Oh.
completely invited. We're
She
totally
doesn't have
doing
any
this.
crisps.
You have an all
She doesn't
gender
have any
loo.
crisps
You know, I'm not
to
allowed to
bring.
use the
That's
loos
problem.
anymore.
She doesn't have any
No.
You not have that problem.
No, Rachel, if you want to come along, you're absolutely invited. Everyone in
you.
the politics social gang can come along, and it'll be absolutely hilarious. But look, if you don't want to do like this, like if you don't want to spend the Friday night, if you'd rather just come out and dance, fair enough. But on the Saturday,
asking?
we are going to go out and dance. That is the plan. We're going to
I like
paint
to
the town grey and brown.
Ooh. Ew.
In Brighton, that's not
That's not a
unusual.
good picture. Great. Yeah.
That was a deep
Camouflage?
cut cast of the
Unusual,
Unstoppable
right.
Sex Machine
It
lyric
really
there. Anyway, One Angry Pagan says it's really warm here in the southwest. Just had to refill the dog's water bowl for the 3rd time this past hour. I'm wearing a fleece. I just want to
I
say
bet you it's under 30 degrees, which means it's maybe a little bit tepid, but not hot.
I'm in Durham. It's fucking freezing up here.
It's been as
I'm thinking
humid.
of putting
You
my
guys
clothes
got
Same
30-degree
It's
weather.
I
humid
got
in
the
the
fan
southeast,
on.
well,
That's
where
why
I
I was
am.
wearing a tank
Humid,
top.
yeah.
It's lovely and warm down here.
Yesterday.
Tomorrow's going to be the warmest day of the year here so far. It's 17 or 18.
Wow.
It was
Oh.
20. I drove back from
Cold
freezing.
out
These
in
are the
Canada.
reasons why I don't live in Scotland.
Yeah, my
You
wife
know,
said to me,
Neither do I.
well, we had dinner tonight, and my wife said to me, "Oh, it's getting cold now. I don't like it." I said, "It was 30 degrees in May yesterday.
Yeah,
It's got
right.
climate
Hardly
change.
cold.
It's bloody
I'm just-
30 degrees. You're
I just
complaining,
wanna-
"Oh,
I
the
just wanna
climate
point
change
out-
isn't
Actually,
working for me
30
at the
degrees where you are.
moment. It's too
That's
cold."
amazing.
I know she's not saying anything, but I'm going to call it out anyway. Never ask Brenna about the weather. She is a Californian. She has no real life concept of what that word means.
Weather. The weather changes.
She
Yeah, it
does not
it's
know
not
that.
Constantly sunny.
I don't think.
She does
I think I
not
can
know what
freak
y'all are
out
talking about.
Brenna by turning
Guys,
up. Dress as
we
a
have-
season. I've come as a season.
We have
I'm the fall.
We have Santa Ana season,
Okay.
Santa Ana wind
Yeah, I don't know.
season. We have fire season.
I have
we have flood season, and that's about it.
I'm
And then
I'm
earthquakes.
Gene
I
Ryan
Ryan
season.
season.
I have an 8
Yeah,
minute
all right, rub it in,
direct
Brenna.
sun.
I just got informed.
I got a
just
nice glow to me.
that I'm going for my first lobster supper of the year tomorrow night. So
Oh, fun times.
Yeah,
Get
but
some
it's a
lobster
month
down your
without
blouse.
R.
Lobster,
What?
lucky you, man.
I
I'd
do
die if I
lobster in
did.
May.
oh yeah, I live in Prince Edward
What
Island.
is that a thing? Like, is that
Lobster.
Can you
You
only have it on
shouldn't
certain
eat,
months of
you
the
shouldn't eat
year?
seafood or fish or shellfish in months without R, where I come from.
Really?
Well, you don't
I
eat
don't understand
month,
that, but
well,
okay.
So months without R are May, June, July, August.
Okay. What does
Okay.
that have to do with eating food?
So there's two
That's
main
so
things.
true.
You can't
One
eat
is I grew up in the Alps. The nearest
Oh.
sea is the
wow.
Mediterranean, and that's 300 kilometers away across the Alps.
Okay.
Okay.
So in the olden days, before refrigeration,
Uh,
by the time the fish gets to us,
It's no good anymore.
you don't want to
is
be
it?
eating it.
well, our
Yeah.
sea's full of like shit
Okay.
now. So because the Tories allowed the water companies to pollute it all, so the local in Mersey, East Mersey here, we used to have like a oyster place, and they had to shut down
Shit,
Mhm.
because of all the
Yeah.
shit.
for shit.
Well,
Yeah,
when-
Well,
when-
I'm okay because I'm allergic, definitely allergic to seafood, so I can't
Yeah.
eat it.
Oh,
When I
That
was in
sucks.
And that's the other
Canada,
thing.
when I was in Nova Scotia, I was in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I went with my couch surf host to a place called Peggy's Cove, and
Yeah.
they had lobster there. And while we were eating the lobster, he told me the story about a plane crash that happened in the 90s off the coast of Halifax. Do you remember this?
I don't know about that. No.
Well, basically, no one ate lobster for a long time afterwards because lobster just eat anything that's on the bottom of the sea.
They scavenge.
Yeah, I can see that.
And people are like, well,
So they ate people.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, lovely.
At least
So-
dead ones,
Effectively,
yeah.
yikes.
But
So, yeah.
I live
I
on
would've
an
ate-
island.
I would've
that's
ate that
completely
lobster.
surrounded by lobster, and at the narrowest point, you can walk from the south shore to the north shore in 20 minutes.
Wow.
So I
What
mean,
island
that's
do you-
what I'm
where-
saying.
where
I
are
live
you
on an
again?
island, Prince
Where
Edward
are
Island,
you again?
Prince Edward
East Coast of
Island.
Canada, Prince
I'm gonna
Edward
have a
Island.
look.
All right,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Have a look at it. So,
Yeah.
Nova
If
Scotia
you,
is.
if you look around the
Yeah.
Summerside area, it's only like 5.5, 6 miles across there, 8 kilometers, something like that.
So, like,
Right.
the peninsula that Halifax is on, it comes out like a hammerhead shark, doesn't it? And then you're the north of that.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scott's
So
looking it up
we're
now.
we're in the
Scott-
Gulf of St.
Yeah.
Lawrence. We're kind of protected by
St.
Newfoundland
Lawrence
in the north
and St. Lawrence.
and Cape Breton to the southeast of us, right?
And
So
St. Lawrence.
yeah.
He loves you and loves everyone. Joe, who I love Andy Thompson because he dropped a £5 super chat in about half an hour ago. Thank you. Someone please sell Trump the very real Stonehenge, all 12 inches of it, which just reminds me of Spinal Tap. So I'm
That's
loving that.
Spinal Tap, yeah. that's
Thank
what
you
it
for the
was.
Spinal Tap
Perfect.
reference.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I have a Spinal Tap tattoo.
there you go.
Really? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen this Slade film that Mark Thingy Commode has been talking about?
Slade film?
There's a Slade film that came out in like 1975, and apparently it is the Citizen Kane of not rockumentaries, as rock and roll films.
Really?
And it's got Slade.
Slade.
It's got Noddy Holder. Slade. It's
Hello,
called
Noddy.
Never heard of it.
Slade in Flame or something like that.
Keep it talking.
I
Haven't
never
the
heard of it.
foggiest.
What is this? Just
Never
like,
heard of
was it made for home video movie or something?
No,
Like,
it's got like this massive cult following, and it's called Slade in Flame.
Never ever
No.
heard of it.
There was a bad car crash in Yellowstone
What? Just now?
an hour
Slade
ago.
in Flames. Sorry, Flame. No, it's just called Flame. It's just Slade
No,
in Flame.
1975, Slade and Flame. Yeah.
There you go.
The best rock and roll film is Strange Fruit.
Ooh.
What?
Oh, was that the Rolling Stones one?
No,
Oh, wait,
Jimmy
sorry.
Nail and Bill Nye and oh god, I can't remember. A load of it's just so funny. And Billy Colony plays the roadie. It's so funny.
Yeah, I'm still a Spinal Tap fan.
And it's
all the way
got
through.
the guy Stephen Rea plays the keyboards. It's just a great film, Strange Fruit. It's a cult. You got to give it a go. And the soundtrack's good.
When's it from?
It was made in probably early 2000s. It's about a 1970s rock band trying to come back, a heavy metal band trying to make a comeback.
Is it also called Still Crazy?
That's it. Sorry, it is still crazy. The band is called Strange Fruit. Sorry,
because we're gonna say, Strange Fruit is a Billie Holiday song. Isn't it?
A very
very
That's what I
dark
thought you were. I was like,
one.
Cool. She's going for the serious pick.
It's
No,
about
she's not.
It's a great film. I love it. I think it's such a great film.
Did anyone see The Boat That Rocked? It was a Richard Curtis film.
Yeah.
Right, I enjoyed it, but God, that would have been so much better as a TV series.
Yeah, it was so cheesy, man. But the cast was stellar. Like
it felt really episodic. It was like this happened and then this happened and this happened and
really poorly put together. But the whole kind of the concept of it was brilliant, and it had Philip Hoffman in it. And
but I think if they'd made it as a TV series, I think it would have been like an absolute legendary TV
series. Curtis always fucks it. Like he always finds a way to make the film either problematic or just like cringy, cheesy.
Who's this?
Curtis, the director of the
Private School Mafia.
He's done some good stuff though.
It's always about posh people though, isn't it? Doing posh things with all their money.
Bad Boy Bobby.
What?
Have you ever seen the film Bad Boy Bobby?
I know of Bad Boy Bobby. What the fuck is that got to do with Richard Curtis?
It's an Australian film where this guy like loses it and starts killing loads.
Really fucked up.
A prog rock band in Australia and dresses up as like a kind of mad preacher. It is so fucked up.
I think my ex was a bit obsessed with Bad Boy Bobby.
It's like an Australian like B movie, but he's like. It's so weird. This guy is obviously completely insane, and he suffers like quite a lot of neglect and abuse in his early life, and then he ends up just like killing. No, he kills a cat, doesn't he, the bastard? And then he takes it around with him, and then he ends up falling in with like a prog rock band, and then ends up going on tour with this prog rock band.
Yeah,
it's so weird. It's
what's that called?
Bad Boy Bobby.
Bad Boy Bobby.
Bubby.
Bubby. Bubby.
It's
apparently it took its budget was 800,000 Australian dollars, and it took 800,000 sorry, $808,789 dollars at the box office. So it made $8,000.
I'd call that a success.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's in the black.
10% return.
Films I've ever seen in my life, but I was like
1%.
1%.
Yeah.
I thought that Muriel's Wedding had quite a kind of like sinister edge to it. You know, it is.
Yeah.
Did
really you ever watch Gummo?
Terrible.
That was a 90s fucked up film.
So I went and saw Gummo in the theater.
What?
Yeah.
Gummo.
I saw a kids Gummo double header at a cinema in Hackney once. And,
Kids is
that was 4 hours.
Is that Todd Solondez? Huh? Is that Todd Solondez or whatever his name is? He's the guy who did Happiness.
Yeah,
that's
fucked up film. Happiness is so fucked up.
I think they're trying to communicate, Brenna.
I don't know. I just
I got no idea if they're saying.
It's an American film.
I'm behind on my movies, as you know, Mikey.
Happiness was brilliant.
It's a fantastic film. It's fucked up, but it's fantastic.
It's fucked up, but so is Gummo, and so is my ex-boyfriend from Tennessee always said that Gummo was a bit of a documentary of his life.
The Australian stuff is dark. I mean, Walkabout is quite dark. I thought Picnic at Hanging Rock was really dark.
Yeah, Peter Weir.
Yeah.
So Nicholas Roeg did
Prince Edward thing. Do you live?
Prince Edward Island.
What part of the island do you live on? Huh?
We're not going to dox Ollie. Don't dox Ollie.
Where?
I don't want to tell you
everything is named after an English thing.
I'm not giving you my address, dude.
I'm not coming over. All right,
it's a small island.
You'll be fucking brilliant.
Small island.
Ollie goes, "Oh, I live here," and then there's a knock on the door, and it's Scott.
The island has many English names. Like it's got a Cornwall, a Glasgow.
If you look at Summerside, though, it's very narrow, right?
Yeah, it's a narrow island,
right? So that's where I'm talking. It only takes you about 20 minutes to walk from the south shore to the north shore.
Yeah, you couldn't do the east to west. So that'd be very
No, it's long. It's crescent shaped and it's long.
Yeah,
but
the thing is,
stop that, Mikey.
People can work out.
skinny.
People
Scott
work
is
out
really
what
nice.
you do.
La-ti-da. Crescent, you say?
It looks very nice. So I take it Charlottetown is like the capital.
It is. That's where most of there's only 130,000 people live in the island, and 55,000 live in Charlottetown.
All the
and
houses
within
look really
20
nice
minutes.
and quaint and cute and shit.
So
Until the snow comes.
yeah, well, there's a little bit of snow by times, yeah.
Yeah, it goes dark.
But it has been bad lately.
Up to his roof.
That was years ago.
It was like 4 years ago.
No, it was 2013.
What's it like to live there?
14.
Do you feel isolated?
Not really, no.
I'd love to
it's
be
really
isolated.
pretty.
Isolation sounds great.
Scott, come and stay.
Not since they
I'll
built the
take
bridge
that.
anyway.
I would love
What?
to. I'm
It's
surrounded
easy enough
by-
to get to the island now that they built a bridge, right?
Oh, they built a
So.
bridge.
Yeah.
It takes
It
all the
looks
fun
really
out of
quaint
swimming
and
across.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks really nice.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of crime there?
No.
Just
See?
coincidentally, just around Ollie. There's no correlation.
There's
All,
crime
all the
around.
crime statistics
I
just
would-
happen to point to one place.
See now.
Great.
This is
Graham's-
like a really
Graham's
sort of crap
Graham's-
American Canadian travel show. If it's Brit, it's like, how much the drinks cost? How long can we stay out? Can we get chips? Where's the pint of Guinness? It's
Yeah.
like it's completely
So-
different.
The bars are open until 2 a.m. most nights
Oh,
in the
really?
summer anyway, right? So
Good. That's good.
I think I found
Not-
what looks like a mailbox.
what?
Do you guys like have mailboxes that stand alone in the street and then
Wow,
like you all
Scott
have
really
to go?
investigates a
If you
holiday.
found
If
your
you live
mailbox,
outside of
Ollie.
town, yeah, people have their own mailboxes. Yes.
No, that's it. I wish I could show you what I'm looking at. Don't worry about it.
You found your shit.
Yeah.
Find out where you live, Ollie.
It looks like small town America, but the houses look really nice.
He's trying to find your house,
Wow.
Ollie. Run.
Yeah.
I'm on
Close the
Spring Lane,
blinds.
Ollie.
Close the
In
blinds.
Charlottetown. Is that where you live, bro?
This is how he
You
does
see-
it.
What?
You see Ollie going like this. in the
What
window.
the fuck, dude?
Listen, I'll give you a hint. I'm within an hour and a half of Charlottetown.
Okay.
Which is the
that
whole
could be
island.
literally
It's either east or west.
literally anywhere.
He's got knives, Ollie. He's a barber.
I got clippers, bro. I'll come for that beard.
No,
Look,
no.
Take the beard.
No,
The source of his power.
No.
it looks
Without
really
his
pretty,
beard, he'll be helpless.
Samson, yeah, that's right. This is my beard
You
of
can't
power.
fight the giant.
It's
He's
property
going
cheap
down if
there.
you get rid of that beard.
What's the property prices like?
Oh my goodness.
Wow, what? You're gonna move here now?
Scott, you really want to know everything, don't you?
Scott's
I
gonna move to
do.
PEI.
What are the schools
I think
like?
the average house price here on the island is something like 270 or 320,000 Canadian.
Right. Well, they got this lovely little place called Food Town. I might go to that.
Food
Fresh meat
town?
groceries.
That's like a grocery store, dude.
A grocery
Food
store.
town? What?
Y'all name the
Parkfield
grocery
Food
Ollie,
store
Town.
he's
Food
pinpointing
Town.
you.
Wow, that's congratulations.
There's Food Town, there's Food Mart, and there's Save Easy.
Town.
Food Mart. I saw a cash and
Fuck
carry.
you. Are you
No,
kidding
stop
me?
it, please.
Are you kidding me, Food Town?
They got a car wash here called Wash World.
Is that close to you?
Y'all corny
my
as
goodness,
hell.
are you sure they're
He's
not German?
triangulating.
Wash
Wow.
World.
It's all very, says on the
Very
tin
literal.
what it
What it
does.
says on the tin, yeah?
Hi, welcome to Burger Planet.
Welcome to the burger store.
You
We
can
have
give that
burger place right around the
creativity.
corner.
Welcome to
that
Restaurant
cake.
Store.
Yeah.
Welcome to Restaurant 5.
Right.
This is where we feed you food.
Would you like to order
This is food.
entrees? Or maybe appetizers?
Because we are a restaurant.
We are the restaurant.
Oh,
We're the only fucking
We
restaurant.
are the only restaurant.
Graham's just eating
By
popcorn,
law.
sitting back and watching.
Home hardware.
Right, kids, I'm falling asleep and yawning my head off, so I'm gonna go.
Well, thanks for
Have a
coming
good
on, Cozy.
Thank
Are you
you.
all right?
worries,
Are you
good
all
to
right?
see you all.
Before you
Nice
go,
to meet you.
did you have a story? Did you have a thing that you wanted to talk
Well,
about
not
tonight?
a specific news story, but something that has suddenly taken center stage of my radar, which is the proposed disability cuts, and they're part of the reason why we've got the schlamassel of now having a Reform MP in Runcorn. For God's sake. Anyway, I might invite a friend of mine who's a Runcorn resident and has done a lot of. She's taken a deep dive into the data of what these cuts are going to mean, and it is. Yeah. It's beyond sobering. We're talking 90% of people who are currently in receipt of PIP are gonna get F4. They're gonna lose all their benefits. And obviously, if they lose their PIP, then their carer loses their carer allowance, and they can't get any more benefits because they're already subject to the benefits cap because they've got more than 2 kids.
Yeah, so we have to make sure that Labour do not do this. And this is the thing now. Yeah, because they're going to freak out because they've done so badly in these local elections.
Well, I hope they understand
freak out in the right direction.
That this is the reason why they've lost a lot of voters. So a lot of natural Labour voters basically stayed at home because they were just like, I don't know who the hell I can vote for. I can't. So on the move forward page, on the tactical voting pages, the tactical vote would have been for Labour.
Yeah.
And people looked at it and went, I can't vote for Labour the way they are right now. I don't know whether to go Green or Lib Dems. So they stayed at home. The Greens and Lib Dems didn't bloody campaign. They just, I don't know what the hell they were doing. And RefUKed campaigned really well. You've got to have
they paid kids to deliver their leaflets.
They did the marketing. They had people going around to houses delivering leaflets every couple of days.
I've got a question. Why didn't Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner go to Runcorn?
Well,
sorry, come again.
Why didn't Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner go to
Runcorn? I don't know. Why didn't they?
Well, they need the 6 more votes.
And then the Reform.
Sorry, Cozy. Sorry, Tam. What were you saying?
Yeah, there was a discussion on James O'Brien about this day where they were saying, like, James O'Brien's a bit of a dick, to be fair, nowadays. But he was talking about how they thought it might harm their chances if he went because he's so unlikely.
Well, yes, actually, to be
fair,
it
made it any worse.
Angela Rayner isn't, but
there's other MPs who were quite cool that could have gone along.
I mean, no, but there were people saying
David Lammy.
David Lammy?
No, not David Lammy.
God, I don't think he's in a lot of people's good books over the whole Gaza-Israel situation. But
not around Runcorn.
There's also
no, unfortunately.
It was that Starmer would have been the representative that would have gone to such a pivot. They send the PM to those kind of pivotal situations. But one of the funniest things I saw today was someone say, now I think I get why Mike Ainsbury punched that local resident.
It was Ainsbury that lost his seat.
Yeah, right. That's the whole reason they was there.
My election was called because he punched a local resident.
Oh!
Yeah. The scuffle in the street, like it all kicked off. And someone was like, now I see why. But at the same time, a lot of people were saying, well, I know he did that, but we're still going to vote, Labour. But when it comes
to Runcorn,
I mean, all this, you can't just say, well, shitting on trans people aside, disability votes, shit aside. You can't just say, oh, I'm just going to, you should
No, I'm not being funny. Labour have been shitting on people from a height for too long. And they have, they have been alienating exactly the demographics that are natural Labour supporters for too long.
Yeah, they're
called the Remainers, the Socialists, the people that are not fans of Zionist warfare.
Yeah.
Now then trans people and now disabled people.
It's
At
annoying.
what point are they going to understand that people are not going to put up with it?
Yeah, and it's also really annoying that we voted for change, but we're getting a lot of the same. That is the frustrating thing about it. It's like,
absolutely.
When Keir Starmer was asked about it today, we got the same stock answers. There was no thought, no reflection in what happened. It was just, well, we're just going to make things different, a little bit quicker. And it's like, no, that's not what anyone's asking you to do. We're asking you to change it completely. We're asking you to do the things that Labour are supposed to do. That was what we voted you in for. You're not doing any of it. You're doing what the fucking Tories were going to do. And that is not going to get you votes. It didn't get you votes. That maybe have a little think about it and maybe reconsider what you're actually doing.
Yeah, and also they were elected on apparently being the change fucking party.
And they haven't changed anything. They're just doing the same old shit.
Can I just bring Rachel in? Rachel, what are you going to say?
Well, I was just thinking, I mean, it's almost a comedy sketch, isn't it? It's we need to move left, sir. We need to move left because, not moving right hasn't worked. Yeah, that's what we should do, but that's not what we're going to do because they won't expect it. We're going to move right again.
Yeah.
It is that. It is that sort of... But we did that before and before that. Yeah, but they won't expect us to do it a third time. Who else can
If we wanted right, we'd vote for reform. I mean, this is the thing.
And
be a Labour Party.
Labour lost 13% because people stayed at home.
Yeah.
Conservatives also lost 6%. And guess what Reform's gain was?
Yeah,
6%. So Conservatives have moved across to Reform.
The Democrats forgot they didn't represent the people on the left, and so some of them moved to Trump because Trump is like the working man. Ha ha. Farage drinks beer and smokes cigarettes, so a lot of people on our left went, well, he's nice because he's like me, where I don't recognise what Labour is in the middle anymore. In the Netherlands, they moved to the right. Their middle party moved to the right, got devastated because they were trying to be the right, who were already the right.
Yeah.
Nobody in the left. All this space.
Yeah.
Look at this.
It's like trying to remake Star Wars when there's already Star Wars. Like, why would you?
Literally, no. We all voted. There was a Labour landslide because nobody wanted Tories anymore. So why are you giving us Tory light?
Yeah. But do you know what? Scott?
It's not even Tory light, though, is it?
It's almost full-blown
I mean,
Tory.
to be fair, I don't think they're as expensive to the taxpayers' coffers as the Tories were.
But Theresa May liked trans people, and now Labour are going, the Tories were too good to the trans people.
I mean, to actually be at the Prime Minister's question to try to out-transphobic each other was a disgrace.
Absolutely.
Right? And what Labour should be doing is when Kemi Badenoch gets up and goes, well, the trans people and women's rights, Keir Starmer should go, no one cares about that. What we care about are jobs, homes, and the NHS.
Actual women's rights.
Literal things.
Women's rights.
No one cares about trans people. We're quashing that. We're not gonna do it. We're gonna give healthcare to trans people. That's the end of it. And move forward. No one likes the culture war shit. This is what we voted for Labour to get rid of the culture war shit, and we're getting culture war shit. It's bullshit. And please put me in a room with Keir Starmer for 5 minutes, because I will easily explain this to him, and then hopefully, maybe he'll think about it for 5 fucking seconds.
Yeah, but Scott, have you ever considered that if nothing else works, a total pig-headed unwillingness to look facts in the face will see us through?
Yeah.
What?
It's worth a go. At the moment,
we've hit an iceberg, sir. No, we haven't. The ship's going up there. No, it isn't. The lifeboats. We need to launch the lifeboats. No, we don't.
It says MS-13. It says MS-13.
It's on his knuckles.
On his knuckles in Times New Roman.
Last night during the stream, I wrote MS-13 on my knuckles in a biro, right, for a laugh, for a joke, and like I couldn't get it off. And I did have to spend about half an hour today, like proper scrubbing it off my knuckles. I was like, oh, bloody hell.
Well, but it's a joke. It's all a massive joke. Tan, please, maybe make sense of it for me, because I don't get it.
I can't make sense of it, mate. Like, I don't understand. Well, I think they're trying to go with the trend, right? So they're trying to, with the whole...
But the country isn't that.
The trend only exists because Reform are incredibly well funded and they're creating this whole culture war. There was an asylum seeker hotel in Runcorn. It's actually now getting closed. And now all of a sudden they're all going on about immigrants. The hotel was there for years. My friend's house literally backs onto it. She never had an issue with it. Nobody ever gave a flying monkeys that there were asylum seekers housed there until now.
Yeah, until they were told to care about it.
Exactly.
This is the thing. They are being, like, people being radicalized at really alarming rates. The Labour are just
our stream just went down.
and
I know.
dickless to like do anything about
I'm gonna
it.
get going here in a second.
Yeah, so
I promise the Wi-Fi would take her out shoe shopping.
Okay, Maggie, let Tam finish.
I can't remember what I was saying.
I apologize.
It sounded like the end of the sentence. No time.
But I think, but it comes.
I couldn't hear.
It just comes down to the fact that Labour. It's like we said. We tried nothing and nothing's working. All the bodies around them that are attacking them that makes them too scared to do anything. Following the trends and the discussion groups isn't doing it. Following Twitter's trends isn't doing it. They need to regulate the media. They won't do that. Or threaten the media. Get the editors in and go, if you don't fucking leave off us, we're going to fucking Leveson the shit out of you.
Well, they should be Leveson anyway as a matter of principle. And this is the problem that
this lot haven't got any principles.
No, I know. I mean, this is a big problem. I think they're floundering. I mean, he's massively inexperienced, I think. And the problem is, he's not just unconvincing as a politician, he's unconvincing as a human being.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
We need you're right. We need a human being running this party who actually has an idea of what's going on in the world.
He's like water. Like for ages, I was like, I don't understand how anyone can be fucked off with him personally because he's so mild. He's like water. There's nothing. There's just nothing. It's just like this.
What's to hate?
Yeah.
He's
What's
like
to
I have quite a lot.
He's like C-3PO. Like he just like I think Joe were talking about the other day. We know that he's got like actually a football season ticket, but you don't believe he's into football. You don't believe it. Because he's just so unconvincing as a human being. So yeah, it's fucked, man. I don't know.
I'm a human rights lawyer, except trans rights, and disabled rights, and probably women's rights.
You see, I don't think it's ideological. I genuinely don't even think they believe it. I think they're being worse. They're mindless and they're going along with it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Worse.
It is.
They're trying to play to the audience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's playing to the audience. It is playing to
small audience,
but it's a minority. It's such a small minority.
They don't understand that it's a minority.
But that's MAGA here.
Yeah, there's MAGA.
They can control.
That's MAGA.
But Brenna, can I just ask you a question, right? So this is something that was said on one of my groups, right? I'm in a Labour group.
Sorry,
people won't. This is me. I went off on what about comms? Labour comms. Labour comms are fucking awful, and with
communication.
You have a bee in your bonnet about it.
Time. This was said.
Do you follow them on Facebook? I mean, it's embarrassing.
People won't need comms if they see the real world impact of policy. Brenna, can you tell me how that?
They need to be told about it.
Can you tell me how?
How are they going to know about it?
Scott, is your name Brenna? Brenna, tell me about how that went for the Dems in the United States. Did they feel the real world impact?
I don't.
The economy was good, wasn't it? I mean, Biden had sorted out
the problem with. I mean, especially on this really controlled MAGA side of things, and it's it's they don't get information; they get opinion, and and I don't know about if you guys know about a little bit of the American history, especially with Reagan, but the fairness doctrine for media, he destroyed that.
Yeah.
And the fairness doctrine, what it did was it made sure that what was saying was true, that you didn't just have one side of the story, that you had both sides, and that was the information that you got to choose from. They don't have that anymore. They don't get information. We have it's asinine.
It's state media.
Yeah.
How ridiculous because I have coworkers, and the entire we serve food to kids, and the only thing these people talk about is pesticides, organic, seed oil. Like your brain has been told that these are the things that you should be worried about.
Oh God, that's happening here.
Yeah. Have you seen the BBC?
Well, the BBC is actually one of the few things that keeps it together, whereas it's also disparate in the US, isn't it? I mean, here we've been kind of like a state broadcaster, yeah.
Yeah.
lot better, but that stops us from having many more in terms of public information, like such a kind of mad, disparate mass of bullshit like you. Like
the woo peddlers.
On that happy note, I love you guys.
Good night, Cozy.
Night, Cozy.
Love you too. Take care.
Wonderful.
I just don't trust. I mean, the BBC, obviously, no trans voices on the BBC. All articles are one-sided. All anti-trans groups are quoted, and we haven't been on the BBC for about 3 years, and so that makes me mistrust them anyway. And then the platforming of Farage and not the Greens and not the Liberals all the time. It just shows you. It's funny because the top of the BBC are all Tory, and actually they've just helped Reform destroy the party that they support. So it's big. But at least trans people have been on Channel 4, and they have been on ITV, and they are on Channel 5 occasionally, but they're just not on the BBC anymore. So I lost my trust.
I don't blame you. I mean, the networks choose prime ministers and presidents, don't they? I mean, let's face it. The thing in Succession really hit the nail on the head, where you've got basically the Murdoch fella sitting there with his bunch of shitty kids, basically just picking like just someone out. And that is kind of pretty much how it does work, though. It was deeply satirical, obviously, but it was making a point there. And that's exactly what it's like here. And the way it's looking now is like in the US, it's like they've made their choice. They've chosen, and it's clear that they have chosen that they're going to gun for reform. And that's why they are just being platformed constantly. They're being around like the Spice Girls in the 90s. Like they're just...
for 5 MPs.
My favorite. Yeah.
They are... like for the amount of representation they have, you would think they had so much more.
It's disproportionate. I mean, now
it's completely disproportionate.
I've got a couple of super chats to go through. First of all, Captain Coconut, thank you so much. Be careful when democracy is sick, fascism comes to its bedside, but it's not to inquire about its health. Now. That's a quote from Albert Camus. And also, Captain Coconut says, support the European Court of Human Rights, which I completely agree with. Questionable Absanity has a question for our American friends. Thank you very much for the super chat there. Non-Brits, what do you get from the following stores? Okay, so first up, Brenna, Mikey, sorry Scott, you can't take a part in this because you spend so much time in the UK. So what do you think you get from the store called Boots?
Boots.
It's too obvious. For the trunk of your car.
There you go.
What about our Canadian friend? With our Canadian friend,
Ollie, what would you get from a store called Boots in the UK?
I think they have Boots in Canada.
That definitely sounds like a store for boots, but
that's what they'd name it in Canada, at least.
Okay, yeah, so it's a chemist.
Literally was looking at a picture of Sam's
It would be
restaurant.
Boot World.
You know what they sell at Mark's Work Warehouse? Work clothes.
I'm looking at this great place on Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. It's called Sam's Restaurant.
Let's go there.
And it's got a picture of
I wonder who owns it.
A picture of who?
Of a burger.
Fuck, let's go there.
Yep.
Picture of a burger.
They serve Pepsi and Diet Pepsi as well.
Let's do it. Let's do
Why are
it.
you looking up
restaurants? Good. That was a big concern of mine.
So I'm going to take what Boots is. If anyone cares for the burger place on Prince Edward Island. Boots in the UK is it's a chemist. It's a pharmacy. It's like Walgreens.
It's a
Walgreens in America.
Pharmacy. Okay.
Yeah, a CVS pharmacy. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Office. What do you think Office sell?
How's it spelled?
It's spelled like office, like an office where you do work.
Let's
he
say
said it weird though, didn't he?
I don't know what
lingerie.
No.
Office.
I've never heard of it.
You've not heard of Office?
No.
Well, they closed loads
Like
of them
that's
down,
it.
Okay, so there's a bit of irony in this because you could probably get the thing that you thought you got from the last place from Office.
Okay, so it's a shoe store?
Yes, you can get Boots from Office. Because it's a shoe store.
It's a clothing store, is it?
Did you guys name it after? Did you name it? Did you name it after the show?
No, it wasn't named after the show.
Sorry?
You got another one because I've got one. If not,
well, just before you come to your one, so the last one that the questionable Absanity was asking about, we want to know what the Americans what they get from the for the next store, which is Curry's. What would you get?
I was going to say that.
What would you get from a store called Curry's?
I feel like this is a trap. I feel like
this is a trap. I don't know. This
traps.
Well, let's. Curry is usually, Indian.
I feel like one of us should say. I feel like one of us should say curry.
UK,
right?
the Britain was let's see, they
You know something? I'm going to go with
Empire
office supplies
and
because
they
there's a
probably
theme here.
You're gonna go with office supplies.
Office supplies it's kind of close.
So close.
It is
Curry's is what, like a big box store kind of thing?
It's electronics.
Department?
Electronics.
Yeah,
Mikey's got it.
electronics.
Electronics.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've Googled it, Mikey.
Can't
Keyboard's
get
up there.
curry from Curry's.
I'd rather lose than cheat. Serena Williams, my idol.
Yeah, electronic store called Curry is there.
Okay, my friends, I think we're gonna have to call it a night because it is past the
Sounds
witching hour, and I
I
have
know,
to
yeah,
get
this
back
chair. My
back to the
back
ball.
is killing me.
or my
Yeah.
chariot will
Make
turn into a
supper too.
pumpkin. I'll be stuck here like a twat. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the chat, everyone. I really mean that. Tan and Rachel, and Mikey and Ollie over in Canada, and Scott down in London, and Brenna over in California. Thanks so much for coming on the show tonight, and thanks to everyone else who joined us tonight. And thanks to everyone in the chat, especially One Angry Pagan and I Step Ken, who are just having fun with the emojis at the moment in the chat. Thanks to everyone who dropped in a super chat. I'll be back on Sunday morning with Sunday Brew, because someone stole the name of my show, Tan.
Fuck you, bibs.
There it is.
You know the context.
Everybody drink. She said it. Everybody drink.
Yep.
So if you do want to join me and Tan, and are we gonna get Aid on Sunday night? Sunday night? Can we do it?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay, so Sunday night, 7:00. Fingers crossed. Me, Aid, and Tam, we're going to be doing a new show called Fuck Your Bins. Andy Thompson, thank you very much. For your information, Dixon's wasn't a sex shop.
Why? What's the point?
But Bass Pro Shop is.
Yeah.
I might be back.
I'm sure at Dixon's they sell curry.
I might be back tomorrow. It's my neighbor's birthday tomorrow, and we're having a barbecue. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but if I can get back in time,
coming. No, I'm joking.
I am going to do another watch party, the third of the week, for the Australian election. So it's an Australian federal elections tomorrow.
Dedicated,
but because they're so far ahead in time, I shouldn't have to stay up late. Like, it should all be over by midnight at the latest.
Yeah, I reckon.
Fingers crossed. But Australia's a big country.
Don't watch it with Mike.
Because then it'll go horribly wrong. Yeah. No, but then I had to break the curse. Rachel.
No, don't do it. Don't try.
How curses work. That's not how curses work. I have this curse where every time I take a step with my left foot, a lava bomb comes. I'll just keep doing it until the lava bombs stop coming. Like, what?
Right.
No, you find a holy man or something. You got to fix that.
You step with your right foot.
You just hop on that right foot for the rest of your life. Is what you do.
That's right.
Right, superstition aside, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the wonderful messages. Thanks to everyone who gave us super chat tonight. And until next time I see you, hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye. Bye. We just come back because Dark 4x4 has just dropped in a mega chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dark 4x4, for the mega chat. 50 quid. I would like Labour or any government to overturn the decision of our courts came to, as I believe the decision they came to was wrong, and there are plenty of reasons to challenge them for a government to completely ignore them. Exactly 4x4, and I think that it is a trap if Labour do not do this, because the European Court of Human Rights will. And so here's the thing, right? If if the ECHR does it, Farage and his fuckwit mates are going to use that to ride into number 10. If Labour do it, they'll just be able to go, oh, well, Labour amended this law. And it's like, yeah, they're allowed to do that. That's exactly what they're allowed to do. Anyway, right. Should we say ta-ra again? Can everyone wave? Right, bye everyone. Bye. Thanks for that. Bye. Bye.
Is the